gamers, and welcome to episode 473 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 27th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's been going on, Dominic?
Man, there's been a lot going on, man. It's been like 3 weeks, almost a month since we last did a podcast. So October's almost over. Finally getting my weather, man. This is my weather right here. Cold mornings, nice, okay, warm afternoons, but not hot.
Been all right.
Yeah. I love it, man. I was like, praise Jesus. It's finally over. It's finally over. And I was like, yeah, thank God we got through that hellhole. But yeah, man. So I was gonna get right into it. Like for sports, let's start with baseball. So now we're in the World Series. I don't know. Did the Orioles already lost the last time we talked?
I don't think they had.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
so
they
technically
lost.
We aren't in the World Series, unfortunately.
yeah, and it's the World Series I said I didn't want.
Yep.
That happened, and because the Padres they blew it. They had one more game and they couldn't do it, and it pissed me off. So, I mean, that was in the divisional round, but still, I thought freaking Dodgers was going to be kicked out then. I thought the Yankees were going to get kicked out by at least the Guardians, and the Guardians, man, they didn't show up for that series.
Yeah.
And it's New York versus LA. This is what baseball wants. Like, I mean, this is good for baseball. Like people say, it's like I don't give a damn. Like that. Like I don't get no money for them because it's good for them. Like I don't want to see those teams. It's like a lot of people say. Like it's like these are two teams I hate. Like you got people now. There's some people who like Boston fans are like, yeah, they don't like the Dodgers either, but they hate Yankees, so they're going to say I'd rather for the Dodgers to win. And then you got people who are like the Giants and the Padres or other teams in the National League, or people who are in New York who have either they're old New Yorkers who were there when the Dodgers left. Those people still out there. And and I mean, what was it, 1958? I forget.
I don't know. I was just about to look it up.
But then then there's people who were descendants from those people, so they were raised on that. That's a life I don't know, because my parents never raised me to like what they like.
Yeah.
They never done that. So when I always hear those stories of like, hey, you gotta teach your kid to do this, to like this team, I was like, oh, my dad and mom, I just chose. They never put it on me to like what they like, because I don't like the teams they like. Yeah. Like my mom, like she a Cowboy fan. My dad was a Raiders and Packers fan, and they were my favorite teams.
Mm.
So yeah, it was never. I mean, I liked what my brother liked. He didn't force me like the Redskins. I just liked them because he liked them.
Yeah.
But yeah, but thing is, yeah, that's what they did. So they put it on them to like the Dodgers, dislike the Dodgers, hate them for moving. But now it's like that's what New Yorker said. He said, "God dang it!" It said, "I'm gonna root for I need the Dodgers to lose." It said the guy was like, "Wow, so why the Dodgers?" I said, "Like, because I just hate. It's like I hate the Dodgers." I said, "But why the Yankees?" He's a Mets fan. He said, "But see, the Yankees, you in New York, you want to be with those guys." He said, "But my team wasn't really expected to go as far as they went, because Mets lost to the Dodgers in the semifinals, well, the American National League Championship, and Mets weren't even picked to probably make the playoffs, maybe, because how disappointing they were last year. They actually really did pretty good, even though they got if you look at their roster as far as money, they spend a lot, but that's the thing. That was the problem. It's like not the problem, but that was the disappointment, was that last year they didn't do nothing, so people just thought they still weren't going to do nothing, and they did all that they did. So that was his reasoning. Like he just said, "Oh, I hate Ohtani and stuff like that." I was like, "Wait a minute, why you hate Ohtani though?" It was like, honestly, I mean, you don't hate Ohtani. Well, here's what. Well, like the reasoning for me would be, I mean, I don't dislike Ohtani. I just dislike he's on the Dodgers. I really wish He was on the team. It was like the Angels is like a team. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, yeah. I mean, I don't mind them winning. I mean, I want the Angels to win before, but they had Trout. Because I thought Trout was a great player, but we just can't really see him on the East Coast because the games come on too late. And then they don't make the freaking playoffs. So, I mean, it's good for baseball. Yes, Otani is in the playoffs now. He's just on a team that is like the LA Dodgers. It's like, come on, man. That's the big money market team. It's like, come on. They've been trying to buy their World Series for years, and the only one they got was a COVID championship. And so I was like, I was like, I don't want them, and I definitely didn't want to go to the Yankees. That's the thing. It's like the Yankees got Judge, and then now the Dodgers got Shohei Ohtani, the two best players in the league. Now Judge, he was actually, I think they actually drafted him. So, but I just like, how lucky are they? They got Judge. I say, goddamn Yankees. I was like, so that's why I definitely want Shohei Ohtani to go to another big market team.
Yeah.
Or I want at least a medium market. I was like, at least, I don't care. It could have been Philly, could have been Chicago, one of the Chicago teams, both like the Cubs. It could have been, I'm trying to think of another semi-market. St. Louis is pretty big because of the history. But I know that he's Japanese. It's going to have to be on the coast either way. And even if it's the East Coast, it's like it's going to have to be New York. So I'm kind of hoping the Mets. I was really hoping the Mets said this was going to be New York because just someplace where it's Japanese people, there can be a lot more Asians, Japanese guys to see the games. And I was really hoping Giants though. Like I was praying, like San Francisco, go to San Francisco. I was like don't go to don't stay in LA. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But as of this podcast, the Dodgers are up 2-0 on the Yankees. I guess it's really because I don't hate the Yankees like I used to, but I still want both of them to lose. And it's just that it just can't happen. So I was telling my friend, I was like, I just hope they I hope it's just a whole bunch of chaos that happens. Like it's some brawls happen, and then stuff
both
happens.
teams just get disqualified because it turns into a violent riot between the two.
But no, it's going to be a winner. But it's just that it become almost tainted. Like it be talked about in such negativity, not as a positive World Series, and also because the game winning run is like by an error or something. Like it's just just disappointing. And then I just wanted to be just chaos basically. But so far it hasn't happened. There's been the only chaos is what happens that Shohei Ohtani has gotten hurt with some shoulder injury which doesn't really sound good. I don't know. It looks like he might be out the rest of the playoffs. I mean, I can't imagine if the shoulders is really injured like that. I mean, it didn't sound like it was just a sore, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I can't imagine him playing at least the next game. But I mean, that's one guy that doesn't mean like they still can win. I mean, baseball is different. They say like he's like the top. Well, he is a pitcher, but he wasn't pitching this year, and he's not the top pitcher. So they're still okay. Like they're still okay. But yeah, we'll see. So that's baseball. What else we have here? I get to basketball real quick. I mean, I'm not really watching basketball. So I didn't see none of the LeBron James Sunset. I have no idea what happened in that game. So I just don't know. The Wizards, I know they're starting a bunch of rookies and stuff, so that's good. That's how you're supposed to think. So yeah, that's yeah. So that's all right. I mean, from what I've seen on Twitter is that they've been making some good moves as far as like making players having contracts for players that are tradable. That's like so it's not awful contracts. Like if you want to trade somebody's like I ain't paying this money for this guy, so I don't want him. So it's like they're making some moves that really build up. And I think it was one guy said, a reporter, the guy's been reporting for like years, decades. Like he's a dinosaur basically. Right. I remember him telling a story about how he was doing some undercover reporting, game reporting on some type of old mob or something. But anyway, he's like he was talking about how this is the first time he ever heard like management of a team. Like most teams, they say they're rebuilding. This management said they're deconstructing. He's like, I ain't never heard of that before. Say deconstructing, and he was like, I didn't think it was that hard to deconstruct. No, I thought he just had to suck to deconstruct. But yeah, they said that they say deconstructing, so that should be interesting. I was like, yeah, I never heard that either. I was like, oh god, they're in the Wizards. Um, what else? What else happened? Oh, now we'll talk about football. So football, bam. My team is doing great. Even though we lost to the Ravens, but we look good during the Ravens game. Quarterback is now the quarterback. He's been doing good, but unfortunately, he got hurt last game. As of this podcast, they're about to play the Bears today. I don't know if he's playing this game. A lot of people are saying like even if he's not really, even if he's like 70%, some people say like he shouldn't play because why risk it? It's not that important. This is your future. And I mean, it sucks, but yeah, I wouldn't risk it either. Like, it sucks because it's supposed to be a big game. This is like the draft pick number 1 versus draft pick number 2. Caleb Williams on the Bears. He's the first pick of the draft.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was like them playing against each other. It was, oh man, I mean, they already got it set up for like the game of the week on CBS. But unfortunately, we'll see. But even still, I mean, we got Mariota, our backup, who did look good, even though it was a horrible team in Carolina. The offense was still good. They scored 40. They put up 40 points. So it was like Mariota, first he was coming in and he didn't look all right. But that was understandable because it's like, well, he's just coming in and he has to just get warmed up. And then after that first like drive, I mean, after the first drive where they went the ball, he came back and he was rolling. And look, I was gonna say this: are the armchair quarterbacks, in the world? Like if you look on Twitter, like I was gonna say this, like a lot of people on Twitter are the most impatient sons of bitches ever. Like they was just saying like, oh, this sucks. Why did we get Mariota? And they were just so down on this.
Yeah.
He's just got in the game, and they were just like, well, he threw a pass or something. It didn't. He was off on the receiver or something. It's like, oh, this is hard. It's like he is just so horrible. This is so bad. And I'm just like, dude, it's just one drive. It's like, what the hell? Can we wait a second? And then after that, he started going. He said, "Oh God!" I said, "Oh, look at this. This is surprising." He said, "Wow." I said, "Like, I'm surprised." I said, and somebody even posted, "Like, y'all people are so impatient. It's like, what is wrong with y'all?" Somebody said, "Like, somebody said, no, but he was horrible before." I said, "So what?" I was like, "He's a back. First of all, he's backup. So what the hell did you expect?" And then second of all, like, dude, like, can you wait a second? Like, nobody comes in and just start balling. Like, that rarely happens. Like, see, he just came in because Jalen got hurt. Like, I think the first drive, yeah, after he did a nice run. They went down for a touchdown, but he was injured. Like he was upset. But he said when he came, like after the locker room, he didn't have his patch still on, but he was smiling and stuff. So and then his mom had tweeted that he's fine. So it seemed like okay, it's not serious. Like it's like oh man, season-ending injury or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know about this week though. But yeah, I mean, but that's how they are. It's how people on Twitter are. Because I remember, like, it's like this girl who I follow. She's an Oriole / Ravens fan. I think it was doing the Ravens versus Washington, and how she was just so down on the Ravens because they didn't. I think they won the draws. Maybe 'cause I don't know if they punted. Maybe if they did punt, it must have been one time. I mean, they probably didn't punt it, but I know that I think they got a field goal. or something. I don't know. It just like I think they missed like a couple passes or something, or I don't know. It was something not big. It was like she was just so in pain. I was like, good God! It's like y'all can't just enjoy these games. Y'all make you get stressed out over these things. You can't do that. It's like you can't. The game's supposed to be something you enjoy. You know, it's like you're not supposed to be stressing out over it, man. And I know people say that's just fandom, and I said, yeah, and it's a freaking disease. I mean, and it's a freaking disease, man. Um, but yeah, but it's NFL season's been pretty good. Patrick Mahomes is still undefeated, the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's just like, wow, this team just wins, and they don't look that great, but they're winning. It's like, oh, this is the Patriots all over again. It's basically, it's like they just win. Um, the Vikings, who were undefeated, they have lost 2 games since we talked last. So yeah, it's been a pretty good season. But the Ravens, they look so much better. Like ever since those 2 weeks were bad, but after that, um, they have looked awesome. Like they look solely unstoppable. And like that's what it is. It's like I'm just waiting for the playoffs for that team. It's like waiting for playoffs. Like they shouldn't have lost last year. They shouldn't have lost against City last year. This year, oh my God, there's no excuse. Like this is the year. This is when you should know if the Ravens don't take it, that either I don't know. I mean, I always think something's fixing the league, but I'm just saying that the Ravens don't take it. It's like you. I don't know. I don't know. It's like you. It's like it's whatever. It's like I don't know what to say. It's like this is the year to take it. There's nobody who's really dominant. You're the most dominant looking team. You're not this. Even though Kansas City's undefeated, you faced Kansas City the first game of the season. Both of y'all look bad in that game. Like both teams look bad. Like because neither team played in no preseason. I mean, they played their starters really in the preseason,
Right.
so they were both freaking rusty. And the Kansas City just came out to one, and they were the home team. So it was like, you know what? Yeah, fine. Like, um, but but now, like I would think, like you got no excuses, man. Y'all should beat Kansas City. Like this is it. Like y'all the best. Y'all the best looking team out there. I like, yes, the defense is questionable, but I don't know what defense is it. I mean, there's some good defenses out there, but I think you have a team that's good enough to win. Like your offense is great. I can cover for that. Like you can make excuses that hey the defense is not doing super great. Fine, but I've seen Kansas City. Like Kansas City defense is good now, but they won with a defense that looked like yours. They won with a defense that looked like yours. So there's no, and then the way you got your quarterback and then the running back you got, man, dude, come on. And like your receivers are great. I mean, does like and they're like doing awesome. It's like yeah, it's Ravens. Like this is theirs to lose. This is there to lose. Like I don't blame Ravens fans for being a little angry or something if they lose. Like it's sad because yeah, there's no excuse to not because you should have won last year, but this year I think it should be Ravens. Um, what else is there? That's it. Really. I mean, I'm joining because my team is actually looking pretty well, and looks like we are favored to win the division because our division it doesn't really look that great. I think the Eagles are the only like team that looks kind of average. But no, they got a coach that fusses with their own fans, man. So like, he was young because after they won a game, he was yelling at the fans because the fans were calling for him to be fired and stuff. But that's Philadelphia. But you still don't go to the fans and yell at them. It's like this dude's crazy. So I don't like yeah. Well, we'll see how the season goes, but yeah, like, NFL is great. So wrestling. So what's going on in wrestling?
Um, I guess I'll talk a little bit about it. They're starting to ramp back up kind of the bloodline stuff in WWE. As of this last Raw, we saw Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, kind of reunited after Jay has lost his title the previous week. He was the Intercontinental Champion for a couple of weeks, and then he lost it back to Braun Breaker, who he had beat for it. That's all leading into like Survivor Series where they'll do war games again, and that'll be basically like teams of 5 against each other in two cages, 2 rings next to each other, 2 cages, or well, 1 big cage around them, and that'll probably be Roman and Jimmy and Jay and potentially even Cody, and some are speculating Sami Zayn also.
Where's this taking place at?
I'm not totally sure where War Games is going to be this year.
What's the first event that's going to happen to that new Clippers arena? Because I didn't even know the Clippers had a new arena.
I didn't either.
That's how out of loop I was in basketball. My friends said they've been advertising, but then it's like, well, I don't really.
Oh, you know what? The Intuit Dome, I have definitely heard some talk related to WWE and Intuit Dome. So let's see, Intuit Dome, WWE.
Yeah, because I saw it. It actually looked nice.
Oh, the first Raw on Netflix is supposed to be from the Intuit Dome.
Oh, okay. What date is that?
What is that? January 6th, I think. Yes, January 6th. So
January, the anniversary. There we go.
It's going to be an eventful day, Dominic. It's going to be quite the eventful day.
What day is that? It's Monday, right?
Yeah, that'll be a Monday.
Yeah. I wonder when's the ceremony supposed to take place next year too. The new president. Yeah. But anyway, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
How will WWE fans decide which one they go to, Dominic? That's on 2 exact opposite coasts.
It really is. It's like, oh man, I want to go to the anniversary of the greatest day in American history, or I gotta see all the first Netflix wrestling events. What do I do? That
you get a little light treason in during the day, and then take a private jet out to California.
The arena has these nice stands on one end of the court where the opposing team would be in the second half. Because it looks more like a college type of stands, and it's like they say you're not allowed to wear any apparel of the opposing team if this part like that. That's the rule. So. Because I was thinking like basically they're trying to say like no opposing fans can sit here, but I was like, hey, but I could just come in with Clippers gear and still be yelling, from the team. So but they said like no opposing fans can wear this because in colleges they have that. They have places where you cannot wear opposing gear in the section. So they try to build atmosphere and. In the first game, I think people said it was cool, even though Clippers still lost the game, but it was cool seeing that. And said the place looked nice. I kind of look at it. I'm trying to find like
this place looks both gigantic and kind of small at the same time.
Well, it's an arena.
Yeah,
I mean, arenas can be used, but yeah. I know what you mean, though. Yeah,
it's just it's these renders that they've got on their website because they're showing like the home court advantage area, and the way that looks, it looks kind of small, even though it does go up and back a lot. But then you look at it from the side, and it's like, oh my god, these people are going up like it's the Alps. Like that's a steep arena.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's steep. Well, yeah, definitely. Well, that part is definitely steep. Made steep though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks nice and darn. I mean, this is also for the Olympics. They said that basketball was going to play in that arena. Also.
The outside of it looks very nice too.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff on the outside. A lot of art they have out there for the community. I was like, yeah, I guess it's nice. I mean. But I can imagine how much that shit costs. The city costs the city, and I was like, "Yep." But they're helping the homeless, though, right?
I was gonna say I can't wait until the entirety of the outside of this is covered in cardboard boxes because people can't afford to live anywhere.
All right, so what else? What else is happening in wrestling? That's it.
In AEW, they're kind of doing this like NWO angle almost, where Moxley beat Bryan Danielson at the pay-per-view for the title. So Bryan Danielson is retired from full-time They choked him out with a plastic bag yet again, so that man's just basically dead at this point. And they're just kind of running roughshod over like these lower mid-tier kind of card guys right now. It's all guys that are like kind of on the verge of they need an opportunity to get into the top card. And I think that's part of what this angle is going for, is to try and elevate some of these teams. Because right now you really do have a lot of these kind of almost veterans at this point, you would call them, at the top of the card. Like the Young Bucks have the tag team titles, and it's very possible that the younger team of Private Party will eventually take those off of them. Even though right now they're not like intrinsically tied into this like NWO style angle. And I say that because like John Moxley is basically saying like, I'm going to try and tear this company down and build it back up in my visage, because like, I think all you guys are weak and you're partying and you're celebrating even when you don't win and stuff like that. And he's trying to get them back to a more hardcore mentality. There was a lot of speculation that Shane McMahon might be coming in. I think I previously talked about that, and maybe would have been like the head of this takeover kind of thing. That has not happened as of yet. I think to some level that would have been interesting from kind of a shock value standpoint, the same way that like Hogan turning on WCW and being the face of that would have been, because like John Moxley has always been, he's been like the face of the company. He's always been the like, oh, if something goes wrong, break glass, get this guy in there and he wins the championship. He's just reliable in that way. But he's never been like the biggest baby face in the company. He's always been this kind of a tweener guy, a guy that even when he's good, he's got an attitude. And I'm not totally sure that they have anybody in that company right now that if they turned them like that would get that same level of kind of surprise or shock. So like to me, bringing Shane in could have been kind of interesting, but it all really would have depended on how he's used. So that they're leading up to a pay-per-view. I can't remember which one's next, to be honest with you, but they're also building like Darby Allin up as almost like the Sting to beat the guy in the NWO, once he comes back, because right now they've kind of written him off, saying, oh, he's disappeared since everything that happened at what was it, Full Gear, I guess. Then NXT has a pay-per-view today as of recording this, on the 27th. It's going to be Halloween Havoc. That should be fun. NXT's been putting on some enjoyable shows lately. Not something I really find myself, compelled to try and watch every week or even like seek out clips of. But for the most part, there's some pretty good stuff on there, and especially on like the pay-per-views when it's just, match. So, yeah, that's wrestling.
All right. So I guess we'll get to what we've been watching. So have you watched The Penguin? Have you caught up?
I'm about halfway through episode 3, I think it is, the one with the flashback for the sister.
So Sophia?
Yeah,
okay.
Sophia.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, I watched the latest one that has happened. How many episodes is it supposed to be?
I think it's on the higher side. I think it's like 9 or 10.
Oh, okay. All right, good. I've been enjoying it. I like the Sophia flashback.
So far it's been fantastic. Yeah. And getting to know the young man in the previous episode too, getting to know his story a little more, I think was interesting as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. His helper. And with Sophia, realizing that she wasn't the killer or something. Like she didn't kill anybody. Like this, and not until recently. I mean, that's what's over. And so, I was like, wow, that she was really burned by her father.
Yeah.
That's freaking. Yeah. I didn't see I didn't see that story going like that. I was just really thinking she was just a crazy woman. But I mean, she a little crazy now. I mean, a little more like murdery now.
She's
But
compelled now, Dominic.
or homicidal. Well, she's homicidal. She's homicidal now. Man, I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, I don't blame her, but then But anyway, her character I really like. The Penguin. I mean, the overall show has been pretty good, and the direction they're going with this. Yeah, I just want to see like where does it go from here, like because the Penguin gets out of this. So what? I mean, he comes out on top of me. So like what else happens like to these other characters?
Mm.
So that what the Penguin gets on top. Well, I assume. I mean, 'cause this ain't totally this ain't totally based on the comics, of course, but
Yeah.
I assume the Penguin's on top by the end.
They're gonna kill him, and then Sophie is gonna become the female penguin, like in the new cartoon.
But yeah, I really like this. I really like this show. They done a really good job with it so far. Like, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm actually a little impressed by it. I can't think. I don't know if I watch anything. Oh yeah, Tulsa King. So Tulsa King that's been coming on Paramount. I want to say, and
Paramount.
Paramount Plus, and that is what's this Sylvester Stallone playing as an Italian mobster, which is probably his first time in all his career. He has not played to the stereotype, which is of the Italian mob stereotype anyway.
Yeah.
He played the Italian boxer stereotype. But anyway, but no, yeah. So it's. I just watched the first episode of it. It's on season 2 now. So, but it's funny. It's like it's not what I thought. I thought it was gonna be something that's taken serious like Sopranos. I was like, let's see how this goes. But no, it's a little more light. It's like lighthearted Sopranos. It's like maybe like a slightly dark comedy, somewhat. Even though I also didn't see a lot of killing. I'm trying to think. I don't think I see anybody die in the first episode. Honestly.
Oh.
Yeah. The first episode, I don't think anybody dies. He just gets out of prison. He's been there for 25 years. He took the hit for his boss and the boss's son apparently. So like he took the hit for the killing. So some killings that must have happened. Like he didn't do it, but he did it for the family.
Mm.
And then they basically treated what they did for a gift when he got out was tell him to go to Tulsa and start something there. And he was pissed off basically, he's like, I did all this for the family and y'all telling me to go to this middle of nowhere to do something. So he goes there and then I remember he was asking the guy like, who runs this town? The guy was like, who runs? What do you mean run? Like who's the gang? It's like, what gang is something here? It's like, there ain't nothing here. It's like, ain't no gang. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like, so basically, it's like his were taken out. It's like how he goes to a dispensary and basically ask him like how this works. How do you run this? He said, "Oh, we just like the guy was telling him different weeds and stuff." So yeah, but like the money and stuff like that, like it says all legal. So but he just basically said like, yeah, it's legal by the states, but the federal government can come and just take it or something like that. And then he basically says like he'll take 20% of the profit and for protection. So yes, yeah, like for protection, and it's like, well, protection from what? I said, and then what they said, he's like, the only guy who's been threatening is you. It is funny. I like me so far. I liked it. So I'm gonna watch some more episodes. Yeah, I'm surprised what it exactly is. Yeah, yeah. But Sylvester Stallone, he was yeah. I just like how he got off the plane. Like when he first got off the plane, like they got this music going on and stuff like that. Him walking out, looking all cool and stuff. And they just like I guess a big cricket or something or grasshopper got on. He's like, what the fuck is that? Like he just said, what the fuck? And then like it was just like this one of those missionary ladies or something. People were talking about God and stuff. She came by and said, "Oh, don't worry, that's just a grasshopper." She's like, "A grasshopper? It's about the size of my cock or something." And she just, I think she sprayed them. He sprayed him. He's like, what the heck you spraying with? He said, the guy was like, oh, don't worry. It's just the guy was telling us, don't worry. She just sprayed you with holy water. He said, like,
No
this
wonder
is
it burns.
he's like, you gotta be careful. There's a Bible belt, something like that. It's like, yeah.
Jeez.
It was that was funny. All right. So I guess we get to what we're playing. So what you been playing?
Just more Zelda mostly. I need to get back into Astrobot now that they have those speedrunning levels in there, or the additional levels, which are also speedrunning levels. As it turns out, those are releasing like one each week, so I probably actually won't. Well, no, I plan on playing some today if I can. But Zelda mostly is what I've been playing. Echoes of Wisdom, that is the one where you play as Zelda doing all the magical stuff. I've gotten past the initial, this is a Zelda game, you do the initial thing where it's like, here are these dungeons, you go to them, and then you beat those, and then you get more dungeons. So now I'm at the more dungeons part. I'm still having a good time with this game. There is stuff that I'm not liking, though. I'm finding myself having to do stealth stuff more often than I like, and that's what I'm doing right now in kind of the marshlands area. I get locked up by Deku scrubs, and they take away all my stuff, and then I have to sneak past them. And like, this just is not the game for that. I don't want to do that. They don't give me the resources really to make it creative. Like, I'm just jumping in a pot and moving when they have their back turned, and then stopping when they don't. And that's kind of the extent of it. At least when I've got like my magical powers, I can kind of like go up over top of them, or, you know, create stuff like that. But right now I'm stripped down, so I can't do that stuff, and it's just far less interesting. There are definitely like more traditional dungeons in this game than we've seen in like the last few mainline Zelda games, but they're really split up into these kind of like sections almost, where when you go into a new area, they have these rifts, which are the problem that everybody's dealing with in the overworld. And you'll go into like 2 or 3 of them, and they're like kind of mini puzzle solving areas, mostly kind of platforming and using your magic to traverse the environments. Usually pretty small, trying to find 5 of the little guy that's following you around tries friends who help repair the rifts. And then once you've repaired those smaller rifts, you can get into the big rift, and that's where you find yourself in the dungeon, and you find yourself facing a big boss and stuff like that. And it works, but the problem is, like, because it's broken up more that way, the dungeons themselves really feel like kind of compact and short. So there's not like this substantial dungeon that you would get out of a more traditional 2D style Zelda. Yeah, I think it's a really clever game, and it's a nice kind of subversion on the normal Zelda kind of formula. I actually think some of the like writing and dialogue in it is more interesting than in a lot of those games too. Like it feels a little more fleshed out, like they're actually trying to give you story here. They're still doing, you know, funny puns and stuff like that, but for the most part, I think it's a little more evolved than some of the normal Zelda stuff. But yeah, there are some enemies or some echoes that I'm finding that allow me to do like a more direct style combat. Once I got those like cactuses that electrocute you, like if I just throw them out immediately, they're immediately attacking the enemies. Whereas like if I throw out one of these knights or one of these like stealthos or something like that, they're always like, just like the AI, they're like always delayed. It's like, it's not as soon as I see them, it's on sight or anything like that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna shimmy up to them, I'm gonna get close, I'm gonna pull back my sword. And like by the time they do all that, they're already getting attacked and getting knocked out. So it's like, oh, now I got to figure out a different way to fight these guys. one of the dungeons I was dealing with was like a lava one, and I don't know if I'm just like not using, or maybe I didn't find the right echo to traverse around easier, or if I'm just not using the resources that I have to the fullest extent. It just felt like I was very much like MacGyvering things together to get around there, and I wasn't even necessarily supposed to be able to get through that the way I was doing it, which maybe that's part of like the fun of it, but for me it just felt like I'm like doing some janky stuff, and this was not the way this game intended me to play it. But yeah, overall I'm positive on this game still. I'm really liking it. I'm feel like I'm getting relatively close to the end. I feel like I gotta be, I don't know, maybe about 3/5 of the way through the game or so. So I hope to be finishing this up soon, because there's definitely other stuff I need to go back and revisit, especially as we get closer and closer to kind of the game of the year, end of the year discussions. You know, I would like to get some of this stuff more in. So yeah. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So I've been playing. Okay. Gotta find where I'm at here. All right. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of games. I mean, it's been 3 weeks and kind of fun. Just because I took a break from Trails. I went back to playing Trails. What is it called? The Trails Through Daybreak, I think it's called. And like just to finish up. Well, actually, I still didn't technically finish the chapter, but I'm thinking closer to the end of the chapter. And yeah, I think I still have a good amount of game, some hours left to play in that game. I'm not close to the end, but still a lot of stuff to do. But story wise, it's pretty good. With that, but not really much to say as far as gameplay, anything different. I have played that new RPG Metaphor.
Yeah.
And it has a subtitle, but I don't remember what it was.
Refantazio.
Well, yeah. Let's just keep it a metaphor then, because like, what the fuck? I mean, so I played some of that. I'm kind of in the. I finished like the prologue. I guess it was a prologue, but I finished that. I'm kind of like into after the second boss there, like of the story, and still not. I'm still at a point where I'm still not fully understand. Like when I know what's going on, but they're not giving you purposely, like not giving you all the information of this world, because the enemies you fight are called humans.
Yeah,
and I'm like, they don't look like me. But I'm thinking like there's something's going to be connected to this, that maybe this is like another world. I don't know. I mean, I think it is, or another dimension and things like that, because they talk about how that there is a world. They said, oh, this world that they live in, because there's a lot of someone like prejudices, and like there's different types of people here. Like, yeah, these people, I mean, they got names. I don't remember them though. They got people with horns. People who basically are elves, knife eaters. Then you have people that look like fairies, basically, because they got dog-like ears or cat-like ears or whatever. And then you got people who look just like normal humans. And those are the lowest, though, of them. They're the lowest population. But basically, the elvish people and the horn people are like the biggest population, and they're the ones, they sort of look down on everyone else. And it's like it's also a class system and things of that nature. But there's a book that you got that's supposed to be a book that is banned. So it's a book about how there's a world where everyone's the same and there's no prejudices. And it's like, it looks like our world, in which I'm thinking like, oh, it must be a different. Maybe said that's not even our world. I said, I don't know what the hell this world is. This definitely is a fantasy. but it looks like all real though. It's like it's no prejudice as far as like species, but
Yeah.
there's the subgroups. So it's so I'm like, okay, I wonder how, like, where's the story go and like what's going on here. So I'm still at the very beginning part of it, but gameplay wise, it's definitely feels like a Persona type of game. Um, as far as like the combat, and you have these things which comes out of you that they call it something different, but it's almost like, hey, this Persona, it's a Persona basically. Um, so that's interesting, and I don't mind. I don't care. I mean, but it doesn't like they have things like that. That seems like Persona, but like the overall story and everything, like how the game kind of flows, it doesn't feel like a Persona game like that. Like it has those like those mechanics that's like Persona, and even the whole whatever the thing that comes out of you like Persona, but other than that, like the setting and things like that, because it's like a fantasy world setting and things like it's different than how Persona's set up. Persona's set up in like, because I don't know, it's set up in like days, like, oh, you got some tasks to do, because I haven't done things like that like in Persona games, so it's definitely different for that. It feels like a more traditional, more traditional as in current JRPGs. Um, but yeah, it seems all right so far. Still at the very beginning, so I'll see how it is playing some more of it. But yeah, so far, I mean, they with the whole theme, I mean, like the setting and stuff, and the whole mystery behind the world. That's what's really keeping me going. What else have I played? I played some older games. Like I played the Ghostbusters game, Ghostbusters Remastered. I played that a few years ago because it came out, and it was free on Epic Store, so I just played that
Yeah.
one again. Because I was like, hey, it's Halloween. Let me play something that's kind of spooky themed, but not really too spooky.
Yeah.
Even though it does have a little jump scares that come happen. But yeah, I was playing through that a bit, man, and I'm surprised. I was just, actually, I'm not surprised, but I wish they would do another game like this. Like, it don't have to be these characters, or they can get some of the voices. I don't care. They can do it based off the cartoon. Shit, like just do it. Like, just have like a Ghostbusters game, man. Like, well, they do got the multiplayer game, which is, I think it's just came out on PlayStation Plus or something like that. I think you can play it.
Mm.
Um, but I want a new single player Ghostbusters game, and it could be like Gears co-op. This one wasn't co-op. Uh, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I'm not surprised. I mean, they did have a VR thing. They did, and well, actually, did they come up with the latest VR game? I know they did one for the movie, but there was another one that's supposed to be done, and I don't remember hearing about it again.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay.
Because they kind of announced that in the multiplayer one almost like around months, I think months within each other.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer one came out. Like I was thinking that was the VR one, but I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
because this one's tied to Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. But maybe it's just Frozen Empire, like DLC or something.
oh, okay. Um, but yeah. So what else have I played? I played some Ratchet and Clank. The latest one, Rift Apart,
Mm.
and yeah, I've been going through that, and I've been having fun. What I don't like is that it's no really true fast travel. Like there are
Uh,
parts where you can warp to a certain point,
mm.
like from the beginning of the map, but it was like I was in a point of the map when I was doing all this, like collecting some side quest stuff, and I was like, oh, I gotta go all over here to get to my ship, and I was like, I hit the start button. I was just thinking, like, can I just click on the ship and just go? And you can't. And I meant to be like a while to figure out how to get back there, because I was kind of like in the middle of this swamp thing, and like when I die, I just respawn to the closest platform, and I was like, and then it didn't respawn me at the beginning of the stage. I was like, and I mean, I got there, I did get there, but I was like, come on, man, you could have made it so I could just spawn easily over there. Like, come on, you gotta. I don't want to have to walk through the freaking map or to
Yeah.
find a teleport pad or something. Um, but yeah, I've been playing quite. I played a lot. I played quite a bit of that, and I was just doing. I mostly did some side quests, like some like collecting some stuff and
Mm.
everything. Like the dialogue, it's all right. Um, but now I'm seeing a theme of Insomniac. Like I don't know, it just seems like the the stuff in the older games. Like I wouldn't say like was the dialogue great, but it didn't feel so nice. Like
Yeah.
this is just feels a little just too wholesome. And for a game, y'all be I get. I mean, you know what? And I guess I should know. I mean, for Spider Man, I definitely see it, but I just thought that was just Spider Man.
Yeah.
But like I for y'all had titles that supposed to be like you know like play on words. I was like, what the hell? But with a part, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that supposed to be.
I've
That
heard that it's supposed to be like ripped a fart, but like that would have never came to mind if I hadn't heard somebody say that.
yeah, I wouldn't. That's
And that's
definitely
clearly not as like as innuendo as like
going commando.
yes, exactly. Thank you. That was what I was thinking of.
Oh, up the arsenal.
Or up your arse, exactly.
Yeah. Um. Then so yeah. So it's like yeah. It's like I'm talking to these things doing it, and they just seem to. I said, come on, man. I was like this. I mean, it's good for like I guess very young kids or something to play. Like, it's real nice. But I mean, as I'm saying, I'm not too mad too either. I was like, well, you know what? How many great games do kids have to play? You know, like there's not a lot of great games that they can play. I mean, there's good games that's wholesome and stuff, but it's not even great. And I guess this is one of those great games. There, but still, I'm just thinking like, man, like Jack and Dexter and I was like, maybe the first Jack and Dexter felt more wholesome than the first Ratchet and Clank. Um, yeah, it's like it just feels different. Yeah, it definitely the mood it definitely feels different, but it's funny. It's funny in parts though, and everything. Um, but I was thinking about like the game of the year that year where we because I remember I think you had this at number one that year. Did you
Yeah.
have this at number one
I,
or number two?
I think so.
Uh,
Might have been number
but
one.
I would have had it. I was trying. I got to look back at my list. That's what I was thinking. Because I was like, after playing a lot of this, I was like, you know what, this game was pretty good. Like this is a really good game. I think I know I had it on the list. I just don't remember where I had it.
Mm.
I also played some Inscription, which is like it's a card based game, but with like a story and it's a roguelike um, type of card based game
Mm.
where you are almost like those role playing tabletop games, but like I mean it's just different because like you are like traveling, like you're supposed to be imagine that you're traveling through stuff, but using these cards and you're playing against some type of monster or demon, I don't know, but like yeah, you're trying to get out wherever you are. I just played very little of it until I like lost my first match against him, which like is which is okay because that's kind of part of the story. Like you do that, and then because it
Yeah.
tells you like, oh, you can come back and play, and now and then like, what do you keep when you die or whatever? Things of that nature. Like I played this game a while ago. Now that's probably like 3 weeks ago, so I don't remember everything about it, but um, I definitely see the appeal of it. Like I see because I mean I heard about it, but I didn't really, never really pay attention to it.
Mm.
But since it's on Xbox Game Pass now, I tried it out and yeah, it was all right. And I was like, yeah, I actually like it. Like I'm trying to think how the game is played. it's like, yeah, you can put certain cards down, but then if you want to put another card down, you have to sacrifice, like the more powerful card, you're going to have to sacrifice cards you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes those cards interact with you. It's like, oh no, why'd you sacrifice me? Or something like that. It's pretty good. It's no voice acting. It's everything just is red, but it is atmospheric.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like it's pretty spooky.
It's creepy.
But it's but it's good. Like it's a good game. For even the small amount I played, I can see like, oh, this is pretty fun. What else have I played? I played some Ghost of Tsushima. So I played that for the first time, and so far it's all right. It definitely feels like a Assassin's Creed vein. Somewhat, well, except for you don't have to go on towers and to open the map.
Now I'm disappointed.
But the look of the game, because this is kind of the PlayStation 5 enhanced version, graphically, so it looks pretty good. Even though I'm playing through streaming, so I don't see the best look, but I can definitely tell, like, just like by the motion and everything. It definitely runs performance-wise. It runs really well. Because I don't believe it was 60 frames per second originally on PS4, but the whole swaying of like the whole swaying of the grass, and flowers and things of that nature, and the way that they have it so you can go to a point on your map, like you can make it like you look at the wind blowing to see like, oh, this is where you're supposed to go. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't really get super far in it. I'm still really at the beginning portion, but I've done some side quests. And the battle system, it's not a button smasher like action. Like you could just go like swinging your sword.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that. I do that anyway. And yes, I have died. I was
going to say, how's that working out for you?
Yeah, but I'll do it again until I win. Because I am impatient. Because I'll be waiting for them to attack me. I was like, every time if I can counter, it's like, oh, you take it too long, and then that's when they attack me. I was like, come on, man. It's like, so I just basically just brute force that crap until I get some hits in, and then I'll get it, and I say, oh, I'm low on health, but eventually I'll die and get full health again. Because it's not like it's not a game where you're like, oh, you start over again. You just go to a checkpoint, or like whatever. That is, yeah. So, but if you do the battle system right, though, like it's all right. Like they have like a counter system, and then of course you can upgrade and do more. You have this like you hit one of the arrow buttons to heal. When you get down in health, you gotta. I just finally got the bow and arrow, so I can shoot guys. So that was pretty cool. Like I was doing that stealthily with some people. Yeah, then they also have like when you see a bunch of enemies, you can do I forgot what they call it. Duel, like not duel, but it's something like a duel mode. Like you just stand with your sword, and then like whoever goes, like then you attack each other, and you gotta slice them first, and and then you fight the other enemies like normally. But yeah, it's all right so far. Gameplay wise, it's all right. It looks good. Yeah. I kind of wish I don't know if it can run on my PC. Maybe it can. Because like I said, God of War did, but I don't know how much they do. Because like I wish in these PC games you could download assets that you're not going to use. Like I say, hey, I don't care about the 4K textures. I'm not going to be doing using 4K. I can't do that. Yeah, I wish they would have things like that so I can, and then just test it out on how it can run. Because I would love to do it on PC and play with cheats. That's what I really want. But it's fine so far. But like I said, I'm still at the beginning. So story wise, it's okay. I always heard that the story is just that it's a little. Some people like small complaints about the story, like. like it's a little too serious. Like there's really nothing. Yeah, it's like it's nothing comical at all. Like no comedy at all. Like I understand like a story is serious, but like it's just like it's over overtly like very serious. That's what I've heard about this game. So I'm curious if that's a problem. Like going through this game, um, like the tone of like God of War. Yeah, it's serious, but you have those moments. That's like those nice moments with the sun and stuff, or the sun does something that's funny, or even him. They said, "Oh, that's funny." Like I think somebody said you really don't get that in this game, and I was like, "Oh." I'll see if that's like if that's an issue or not, because I mean, it all depends. What else have I played? I played. I didn't write the whole title because I don't remember because it was freaking. It's one of those titles where it don't make. I mean, it makes sense if you play through the game. The Master Detective Raincoat something that came out on the Switch, and now it's on PC. It just came out on PC now. It's the guys who did Danganronpa.
Okay, yeah, Master Detective Archives Raincoat.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a long ass title. It's like I guess they're making a franchise out of this, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. I mean, art wise, it's definitely the guys who did Danganronpa did this. Like it's inspired by that definitely art style. If it's not the same animator, but the game is that you play as this master detective. You make over amnesia, unfortunately, so you learn that you are one. Um, but you don't know why you woke up with amnesia. You get on this train, then people die, and then you're trying to figure out who the killer is, and it goes from there. Because like you have different cases that happen. You're going to the city that's basically secluded from the rest of society, like it's run by this evil organization or something, and this company, and they have their own government and things of that nature. So they sent you over there because there's a lot of unsolved mysteries over there, and also to find out what this organization is doing. Apparently, it always rains there. I guess that's the rain code. Some has to do with it.
Got to read between the drops.
And they don't know why it started. They say it started like 3 years ago from the time you're there.
Jeez.
And like they said, yeah, there's always rains here. We don't know why. So you're trying to, and right now I just got to another case. I just started that someone was killed, so I have to do some investigating. Like, and you get points for every clue you find because you're not. So apparently there are chances you can miss some clues. And then you do this. Then you go in this crazy world where you do like this is how you get the culprit, and when you get the culprit, you get them to like admit that they did it, almost like a Persona 5 kind of thing. But they die.
Oh,
yeah, because they say it because you stop because like you fight it basically almost like you killed their true self or something, and they die. I say, God darn. Oh, I say, darn, Persona didn't even go that far. But and then you have this friendly ghost. Like this ghost is with you. Apparently, because they said the reason why you're having me is just because you made a deal with her. She's something they call her. And you made a deal with her, and but the deal is that you lose your memories, but you get to use this power and stuff that she has. And thing is when you go into the world, like it looks like just like a pink, like a little ghost, pink, goofy looking
creepy to me.
ghost.
I don't like it.
But then when you go
happy.
but then you go to the other world, it turns to this freaking girl with big boobs, and it's like, oh,
that's who that. Okay,
here's the anime stuff we were looking for. Yeah, there we go. And then of course you fall on her boobs and stuff, and blah blah blah. Just the regular old anime tropes that you always see.
Stupid, sexy, silly ghost.
And she always flirts with you, and then the boy is all like, "Oh, I'm not comfortable." It's like, yeah, is this how Japanese boys are? I said, okay.
So many nosebleeds all the time.
But yeah, so yeah, but overall, I mean, I do like the mechanics. I do like it. I like the tone of it, like how it's funny, but like that's how Danganronpa is funny, but it's dark comedy because there's be some serious crap that happens around. Um, yeah, I want to play. Yeah, I do want to play some more of this. But I was kind of playing this and Apollo just at the same time, and so it's like, hey, I think playing these two kind of Japanese theme, investigative type of games. Yeah, I played some more Apollo. I think I finished. Yeah, I finished off a case. So I think I did what the first case, which is always like the prologue case. Then I did the second one. I'm on the third one right now in that game. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's just a redone of the original Apollo game. So the only difference is that I'm not using the DS like actually blowing into it where you like blow stuff off or like having it right on screen because I'm doing it on the PC. Um, yeah, I'm really curious to see how they do the 3DS games that came out, like how they look. Um, but yeah, so far, I mean, it's all right. Apologize, though. But I always like the Phoenix Wright's one better than that. I will say I like Apollo Justice's music better. I like it. I think the music's better in this game. What else have I played? I played some. Oh yeah, because I was playing some ARA. That's the Civilization like game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going through that. And then I said, I want to see what's the difference between that and Civ 7. So I loaded up Civ 7 and played a bit of that too. I actually like finished a scenario, and I actually won without killing a bunch of people. I mean, only person for a war against was because they started, and I finished it because they was like first they said like, oh, we give up. I said no. No, it was like, uh, plus I wanted one of the cities because they was near the coast. To say I want that city anyway. Now you gave me an excuse.
Not giving you the opportunity.
I said I don't feel bad about taking it over now because you started a war with me. But I won the overall game from was it Culture? I think Culture. My Culture was big. Yeah, I was like, yeah, man, I was really caught, man.
It's easy when you perform genocide on every other culture.
I had a lot of theaters. I had a lot of artwork that happened and stuff. So I was like, and yeah, man, I was like, and then I had more wonders. Like I've done more wonders. Wonders are like the pyramids of Giza. Like you build them first, or like anything like the seven wonders of the ancient world stuff. Things are like around something like that. Like I did Stonehenge. Like I did Stonehenge, the pyramids. I'm trying to think what else did I do. I think I did the Hagen Gardens of Babylon too.
Did you ever get to do WWE's China, the eighth wonder of the world?
Yeah. All right. So, but yeah, now I can compare it to ARA. Like, I see the differences now. Like, I said, okay, because ARA, you have districts. Like, you don't really have districts in the same way in Civilization. I said 7. I mean 6. 7 is the newest game that hasn't come out yet. 6 is the one that's out now. I put 7. I got that ahead of time.
Pre-release, Dominic. Don't tell people. Yeah. You signed an NDA.
But yeah, Civ 6. Yeah, I'm sure some people got. I mean, they were showing a lot of. I mean, I was watching some of those videos when they were just showing a whole lot of it. But Civ 6, like they have like you can build an entertainment district and or like an some other theme districts like military, education, and things of that nature. But in this, it's like each thing you build, like a farm, like either a farm section that's its own kind of area. If you do something with animals, like with horses, that's its own kind of area. And you can kind of manage even those. Like it goes a little deeper. Like, hey, you want more production from this farm? you have to go invent a plow, and then you invent equipment, but you gotta equip those things. It doesn't just automatically go to them. So you gotta say, oh yeah, I want them to have a plow. So I'll go to this farm and do it. So it's a whole lot deeper. It goes a little deeper than what Civ 6 has done.
Mm.
Now, does that make it more fun? That's all depends. And so, but yeah, because I'm noticing that I'm managing more on my turns than I ever did on Civ 7. I mean Civ 6. So I but I I mean I become okay with that. I'm like I don't hate it. It's just it's done differently. Also the battle system is different. It's like I think you fight in one go. While Civ, you keep going, they have health. This is like you'll see who wins from the first battle. I think the first
Okay.
fight or whatever. So that goes faster. Um, Also, I like how you can stack your army. So I can have an army because in Civ you can't stack your archers or whatever um time period you're in because the
Mm.
archers turn to gunmen at a certain point or something. You got to upgrade them. Yeah. You can't stack them with like regular soldiers with swords. They're separate. While in ARA, you can you put them together. So it's like, oh, this is your whole army. Like this is like your group of men or women that are going to like you can stack them up so it's like, hey, this is how many people are in this army, and mixed in, and they kind of balance it out like what you can do if you fight against this
Mm.
group. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So yeah, so then yeah, it's like little differences, but overall they all have the same thing. I just find it funny because they have the same thing with their leaders, looking really goofy.
Yeah.
And they have the same thing of wonders. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah, you got one. I mean, like
do they have the
all that
same
stuff.
leaders too? Basically.
Some of them are. I
Okay.
mean, some of them are. But that was like that for some other games too that have done something similar. I think
Yeah, I
what
mean, if you're gonna
Humankind.
do that, you're gonna only know so many leaders from certain areas.
Yeah, there's still nobody's done Hitler for Germany though. Nobody wants to
Weird.
do that one. But I'm trying to think, and I don't think they've done Stalin. I want to say they have never done Stalin. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing Stalin. I always seen like I forget it's a woman. She was the queen. Um,
Anastasia.
yeah, Anastasia or Queen Russia, Queen Russia. But yeah, it's like it was a queen, and then there was I forgot was the guy's name. There's another dude. Um, but yeah, so yeah, those leaders they didn't do. I don't think they've done Obama or Trump. I guess Trump will be the guy. It's like, oh, we're not going to do him. Um, but
They'll do in all bumbling leaders, like worst leaders DLC.
but yeah, it's also like you. Oh well, see in the DLC because I haven't played another DLC on Civ 6 until now. So they had add things like governors and stuff like that where you can
Okay.
put in um your specific cities. And I think in ARA, I think they do have that. I want to say I forget. Um, but yeah, because that was something new. Also in Civ 6 in DLC only though, have environmental stuff that happens, which I didn't see in ARA. I don't. Yeah, I haven't experienced that at all. But in DLC, so this is the first time I played it. Environment like things randomly happen. Like I have cities near a river and it floods. Then they get damaged. They had to get some workers to help rebuild it. Um, and then there was time when it was like, oh no, it's a plague of locusts or something like that, and now like all the food has been destroyed. And then like during those times, you gotta try to survive, and like because like you can't grow food for times. So you hope you have a lot of surplus of food when it happens. Then you got I think you have earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff that happens. I didn't experience a volcano. There was a blizzard that happened, but it wasn't near my city. Um, I think it was near somebody else's city that happened.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was cool. I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. The experience. I started a scenario of the Black Plague,
Oh, jeez.
where you have to control, like, every now and then the city gets the Black Plague happen, then it goes away a bit, and then it comes back, and like you gotta try to survive for I forgot how many turns, um, and like you can't do certain things, like, and then also if you have any soldiers or workers that's in that area, each turn they lose health, so sometimes I just be like, I don't feel like moving them. They're just going to have to die. I just build another one. They're expendable, Daniel. That's like we just built another one. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of cool. Like people like going to the plague, and then it's still. I think I don't know who England was at war with. You're in war with somebody because somebody was attacked. 'Cause I didn't read it all the way through because I was wondering. It's like I see other cities. Are we like at war or are we just there's nothing right now? Like unless I started, I think somebody came and attacked me. It's like, oh crap! So okay, so I was wondering, it's like just I was like, first, it's like this is not that hard. I mean, I have to worry about the plague, but if they would be a little more difficult, it was at war. That would be like, oh, I got to deal with that, and that's what it is. And so okay, I think it was I don't know who was it. Is it Spain? They were fighting. I forget. It might be. I think I know England was fighting with Spain, like them in Spain or Portugal. Like where I know they were always hate each other.
Hmm.
So it might be one of those places. But yeah, so I think so. There's some cool scenarios in that DLC. That Civ 6 had that definitely made that game better. So yeah, ARA. I haven't done those scenarios. I just played like an open game.
Hmm.
So maybe I might check out their scenario, see they're all right. But like these games take about hours of my time, and like
Yeah.
they are freaking long. Um, all right. So what else have I played? I played. Oh yeah, the new Dragon Ball Z. I tried that out. Sparking Zero, and it's just those games, those Dragon Ball games that kind of like the Budokai stuff, where it's
Hmm.
3D fighting and that's that nature, but it looks a whole lot better. That's what it is. Like it looks really good. And but they do, yeah. When I was playing a little bit of story, they do skip a lot of stuff in between, which I don't know. It could be fine, but to me, I feel like uh, I want. I mean, you might as well just let me play it all. Shit. Like let me do all the. Let me just
We're
do all the
doing this
fights then.
again. You might as well let me do all of it again.
Yeah, or well, actually, Xenoverse, I guess, did this already, where they did it like, hey, the scenario would change differently if you do that, and that's what I liked about Xenoverse. That's the only thing I like is that this is something that happens differently in that one. Like you can change the outcome of
Hmm.
something that happened from before. But I played with like a match with like I think it was like me, Goku, and Vegeta. I think this normal Vegeta, normal Goku, and there's so many variations of each one. Like I think I forgot what it was about how many variations of Gokus there are, and some of them it's just like oh his belt, like he has like this is one where his shirt is torn, and this is one where his shirt is just okay. And I was like what? And like it's just like a little difference. It's not like it's just like oh this is Super Saiyan him. No, there's like, oh, this is Super Saiyan when he's been already fighting. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, y'all really doing this? I was like, this is crazy. And then all these variations of these characters. But you know what? But they do have like every character there, I believe. I mean, at least all the ones I know. I don't I didn't see Mr. Popo. I had to little look. He
Yeah, we
might be
don't
there.
keep him in those games anymore.
Oh, no, somebody said that no, that's not Mr. Popo's not racist. He said, nope, that's just how he is. And also, because they have other characters with big lips too. They said, so they're not racist. I
Oh, of
said,
course.
yeah. um, but yeah, I mean, I didn't play much of this. I just wanted to see how it was and how it looked. And yeah, it looks cool. It looks like the visual looks cool. But if you like these type of games, fine. Even though to me, I think like it's just a group. It's a group of people I look online like and stuff like they just like these type of games more than the Dragon Ball Z Fighters. And it said like, yeah, and me it is different games because the people say like they're not the same. They're not really. There are different type of games, but I was just like, man, I just feel like that's just so superior. Like, who gives a shit about these games? But I guess they do because they made it. Honestly, if I looked up, I didn't realize like how long they've been doing it. Because the first one that really comes to mind is the first Budokai that came out on PlayStation 2 in America that was really advertised. But they've been making those games on PlayStation 1 in Japan and even Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like they did it in that kind of format. That makes it look like it's 3D or something, but it's not. And like people like those, and like, visually like just looking, I can see the appeal because that's like how the show is. Like yeah, they go fast, but it's just like controlling it. It's just so weird. And it's like I said I don't know, man. I said I'll take the 2D, or it has to be like how Spider-Man or Batman is or something. Like I'll take a game like something like that. Um, where it's not really a fighting game, but an action game and something where I can really control the camera and things. You can't really go, but yeah, you can't go against people because because it just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. Um, and last but not least, because Call of Duty came out this weekend and on Game
Yeah.
Pass, Call of Duty 6. So I'll play a little bit of the campaign on that. Um, just up to the first point when you get to the first hub like zone where you're in your cabin and stuff. I guess that's where you do your planning. That's probably where you go to probably routine missions. Uh, so yeah, just playing that, man. I'm realizing that wow, I guess age. I finally seen like my age in the games because I am not getting to these guys fast enough to shoot
Yeah.
them. And this is just a campaign. I'm not even playing online against people or anything. So I was like, man, this ain't working. Like I'm just trying to go over and shoot this guy, and I mean I get him eventually, but it's just like I just feel like I could go faster before when I was younger than I can now, and so it's like I'm glad I played in recruit. Um, so also, I did try to do zombies. I did it in Modern Warfare 3, though, because I was testing to see how you get into Modern Warfare 3. Because what you do is go into the Call of Duty hub world, which you pick the game you want to play.
Yeah.
And so it was very confusing. So one time I saw the other games. I saw like Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and stuff. So I was like, oh, can I play these too? But when I did, it said, "Oh, you can't do this while streaming." And I was like, "Oh, man!" But then when I picked 3, and it let me get through, and I was like, "Okay." So I went through there, and then I said, "I want to play zombies." So I played some. I saw the zombies, and zombies is different from what I played, where it was just like you're in the house or something, or enclosed area.
Yeah.
Because even the theme park, and then it gets bigger as you unlock stuff. This time it's an open world, almost like Fortnite, and you can like I was with my group, but they weren't moving, so I was thinking like, oh, it must be something. And then I picked somewhere like you can drop in this area. So I dropped in this area. It was kind of like, but it actually had difficulty. So it was medium difficulty in this area, and I was like, oh, that's I guess different zones is difficult. But I was by myself, and the zombies were taking a long time to get shot down. And then I just died. And then I was like, oh, I guess I have to respawn. And I'm just busy watching them play. And then I was like, I don't see the timer. I said, when do I respawn? And then I looked online and said, oh, when you die, you just stay dead. I mean, they can revive you to the ground, but after that, you just dead. So it's like, what? I said, what kind of? This is how the game works. So they just be down a man. I said, so I just quit. And well, I guess I technically I didn't quit. I died. I was like, I don't understand zombies. It's like I don't understand. Like, so I just looked online, and like it's very complicated. Like it's like people like it's all these strategies. Like it seems like you have to do, and like it's not you can just jump in and just shoot. Like you have
Yeah.
to really work together. Which is, I mean, that sounds fine. I just didn't expect it to be that. I mean, I was just like, is there a bow where I can shoot zombies? Like just shoot them and just like a horde bow. That's all I really wanted. Like ever since they did this, but they even make because I always thought it was complicated even then.
Oh yeah.
And so now they just really made it big, and like now it's to the point where you do these tasks, the stuff to unlock things. It's like wow. So I was like, forget it. I was like, darn, this is not what I. It's not really what I want. I mean, that's fine. That's what it is. And then there were some people who said like, "What's a very like new map to play?" And the like, I was looking on Reddit, and some people were saying this map. But then I also read somebody said like, you say y'all all the maps y'all saying is DLC, and it said like, so there's nothing really new for you to start out, and that's always like they're really locking it. They're locking people out. It's like, I'm sorry. I think the days of you buying maps have to be gone. I feel like that. I feel like you. I'm sorry. You get your money from the loot boxes and stuff. I mean, we already see the statistics on that. How much money you get. I feel like you should be making maps free, and because so people can play everywhere.
Right.
But and then they you don't know how you get your money. You get your money because of the loot boxes. Like people still want to unlock and look good and stuff. But it's like you shouldn't because even for like some people who like to play, some people say like, yeah, I like to play, but and like the more maps there are like that's in DLC is the less people who like you can play with. It's like this ain't all the people. It's like it doesn't make sense to lock out people. It's like yeah, you're not seeing a lot of people new. Some guy said like yeah, it's not seeing a lot of new guys come over because they get intimidated about how the zombies think is. They come in, they think they can just go and shoot like I did. Like I just go out and then I realized, oh crap! Like and that's a guy said they'll get like a real tutorial. Like it should be like a real tutorial on the zombies.
Would be
Like hey,
nice. Yeah.
like they do for multiplayer. Like they should say, hey, you go this is how you have to be. This is what you have to do or something. Because yeah, I'm just thinking it's like okay, this will be for the zombies. We try to shoot them, you know. And nah, it's a lot more than that. Um, so yeah, that's it. So I'll probably play some more Call of Duty when I get a chance, just to see if I like it. I mean, multiplayer. Oh, I did play like multiplayer with bots. I had fun with that. That was definitely that fun because I know I'm not going to do well playing against other humans. Like that's just not going to happen unless they have like they have a senior league. They have it like where seniors can play or something like that, and they can prove that they're seniors. So I can be like, okay, yay, we can play together, and we all and like senior league, and they suck too. So it's like good. But other than that, yeah, senior in gaming should be like what, like 35 or something like that. Kind of like real sports. Like you're getting old.
Your reflexes are getting low.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cardio's
so that's it.
bad.
So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2014. So 10 years ago, what we got here, we got Alien Isolation. I always felt like we talked about this, but it probably was from covers.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation was released. This is probably one of the best or the best Alien game. I mean, I'm trying to think of another one that could be better. I don't know. I
I
don't think
can't
the
think of
Alien
one that's
versus
better. Yeah.
versus Predator game wasn't better, right?
Nah.
Yeah, but yeah, this game. I mean, the tone of it, the look of it graphically. I mean, it's just it was great. It was done very well, and I mean, it was a good survivor horror game. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't action like some of those Alien games were action. But yeah, this was really good, man. Like I know I was scared.
Oh yeah,
I was
absolutely.
I, I I was scared of it, and I was scared watch Markiplier play it.
Yeah.
But nah, but yeah, this is a great end, man. It just has not gotten another game like it
No.
since. You think
Has
by
not been
now,
surpassed. They haven't even like that's the thing is like yeah, there's been Aliens games since now,
yeah.
but like why didn't you just make Aliens Isolation 2? Like what stopped that from happening? Did it
it,
sell poorly or what? Because I mean, I would imagine this was like a decently, cost a decent amount because it was like an actual AAA title, and like a lot of what we've seen since then.
yeah, we've seen like isometric games. We've seen oh, and the multiplayer one that's kind of like Left 4 Dead kind of
Yeah,
thing that actually did not turn out to be that good. But yeah. All right. So what we got here? We got Costume Quest 2 came out for Windows. Is that it?
it came out for everything. They're all listed,
Oh, okay.
scattered throughout here somewhere. Yeah, that game was awesome. The first game was really cool. Just a simple turn-based strategy game set in a world where these kids are going out Halloween trick or treating, and there's like goblins around town, and then you get sucked into their world and you gotta destroy them. But I like the idea of like the kids had these costumes on, and then when you get into the battles, they actually turned into like real cool looking robots or knights or whatever.
That's a game I just never played because I kept saying I'm going to play it during Halloween. I can't
Mm.
play it. I can't play it outside of Halloween.
Yeah.
And then I forget about it. And then I remember. And it's Halloween's almost here,
Yeah.
so I got like 2 days to play. Um. All right. So what else we have here? We got darn. Okay, because I'm on. Oh yeah. If I sound different, because I'm in a different location, and also I'm using my laptop and trying to. I don't want a laptop. It's just I have not. I don't use laptops a lot. So and now I accidentally scanned all the
uh,
bottom here. All right. So we got Drive Club for PS4.
yeah.
This was the first racing game on PS4, right?
Yeah. This is the car game for pervs, car pervs.
Yeah. Yeah. So he said car.
Even more
Um.
so than Gran Turismo and Forza.
Yeah. Which yeah, I was very um. It was so weird because I'm like, what? Y'all have Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like Drive Club. Okay, this must be a more arcadey game then, because like how Xbox had Project Gotham Racing and
Right.
they had Forza, but I think this was a simulation also,
Yep. It
and
was.
it's like why?
Yeah.
Like it
Because
never
all they
made
had
sense.
was Gran Turismo Sport or whatever. They didn't even have a full version of Gran Turismo to release. That's why.
Yeah, but it's like you have another brand. Like you already got Gran Turismo, which is your big is a huge brand. Like, why do you have another car that's so similar? Like,
Yeah,
you
they
didn't
should have just
even.
called this Gran Turismo EU or something like that. The
Yeah,
European edition.
yeah. So, like, what other features does this game have?
Oh man, I don't remember. I just remember it being like super focused on like graphics and like car sounds, which is like what you always hear about these like car pervert games. It's
Evolution
like,
Studios, are they still doing something with Sony?
that's a good question. I remember they put out like the VR enhancement or whatever for this at some point, and then I don't think so. After that, it was nothing. Let's see. It seems like they are still alive and kicking, and they're still owned by Yeah, man. These are the MotorStorm guys too. I forgot about that.
Oh, so they got them. Oh,
Yeah, but they have not put anything out since 2020,
it's
2014.
funny because MotorStorm is something different, off road stuff, and very arcadey. You would think like, yeah, y'all focus on that, while Gran Turismo does, the very simulation racer.
Yeah.
Now you got them doing something very a simulation racer.
Oh, wait, no. Okay. It was defunct. I'm sorry. The developer's last game was Drive Club. It was scheduled as a PlayStation 4 launch title, although it was ultimately delayed until 2014. They claimed something. On March 23rd, 2015, 55 staff members were cut from Evolution Studio, which sources say is approximately half the studio. The redundancies have been described by Sony as a way to focus the studio on developing Drive Club as a service. Ew, gross. On March 22nd, 2016, Sony announced that Evolution Studios was closed. On April 11th, 2016, the development team joined Codemasters as Codemasters Evo, which would be renamed as Codemasters Cheshire after the disappointing sales of their next game, Onrush, which that one was pretty cool, wasn't it? Several members of the Codemaster Cheshire development team division were let go in redundancies, including game director Paul Rushkowski, and the division was shifted to a support role for other Codemasters titles. In May 2022, the team at Codemasters Cheshire was merged into Criterion Games, an EA subsidiary. Man, we have really consolidated like the amount of developers working on racing games, because like everybody's been funneled back into Criterion between these guys and the Need for Speed guys. Like everything just comes back to Criterion. Man, that
All right.
sucks.
Yeah, it really does. All right. So what else we got here? We got Project Spark came out for the Xbox One, Xbox
Oh,
360, and Windows. This is like Xbox's. Well, what I thought was like basically like Little Big Planet,
Yep.
but it was like a little more than that. It was X. There you could really just do anything. Like
This was my game
games.
engine of choice, Dominic. I was developing my game in this game, and then they took it away from me, so I stopped.
It was basically it's like people can just develop games and stuff in here, and but it never really went anywhere. And yeah, it just never went far. This is like almost like pre-Dreams, basically. Which Dreams is now gone too. But yeah, it's like I thought this was going to be something more. This was like basically our last time we seen Conquer, because they had done some type of game in here with him. That was it kind of sucked. I mean, not the game sucked. I mean, maybe it did, but I didn't play it. But I'm saying that's kind of sucked. That's Conquered. That's like the last time we seen him. But yeah, like it was kind of pushed almost like a thing. Like you can play game. People, guys created games and stuff. So I was really thinking like Little Bit Planet, but it's definitely like how 2 or 3 was. Like they really went way far. Like you could do a lot more stuff in those games. So, but nah, it didn't really get out there like where people were really into it. I mean, plus also with the Xbox, there's not really a lot of Xboxes, but even still, it's just that people who had Xbox a lot of people didn't even know about it.
No.
Like it wasn't really pushed. It wasn't really pushed to be known.
And then I feel like they killed it pretty quickly too. I was surprised at how.
Yeah. I don't think it. I mean,
because it came out almost like an early access thing at one point.
Yeah. It wasn't like a full release when it came out.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got? We got Styx, Master of Shadows. I totally forgot about this game.
Yeah.
They had 2 of them. They probably had more, but I only know 2 of them. But
I was gonna say now I forgot about the second one. So
the Styx was a goblin, and he did stealth and
stealth goblin game.
Yeah, but it was all right. It actually was like a well done game. Like it's something like looking at it, you just think like something like that. Yeah, it come out. It's probably average to below average game, or like it's either horrible to below average game.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, there's something to be forgettable.
This is pretty solidly double A, right?
Yeah, but it actually was a well done stealth game. Probably better than the latest what was that? Was that franchise Thief game? So like yeah, I know. I think you're like what's the plot? It takes place before the events of the. Oh, this is the sequel.
Oh, this is the sequel. Oh shit!
Then we just
what was the original?
You must have missed. We missed it then.
Of Darkness. No, wait. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it's no. The game received a sequel.
Yeah, it says taking place before the event of the previous game.
Yeah.
Styx infiltrates. Yeah. So,
but is the previous game this of Orcs and Men? Because I didn't even know that there was a previous like series that this was tied to. I knew that weird, creepy goblin doing stealth.
Ticks is stuff again, like, and the video game takes place in the world established by 2012's Orcs and Men. Yeah, that 2012 was the first one. Oh no, that looks different.
Yeah, because then you have Styx Shards of Darkness, which is the sequel to the Styx game. Apparently deep Styx lore, Dominic.
All right. So Styx Master Shadows, that's the first one we really heard about.
That's the first we were aware of.
Yeah. I didn't even know about World of Orcs.
Nah.
No. And that's an action role-playing game. That's not even stealth. So they really changed it up. Yeah, I didn't even know about. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people probably didn't know. And that has to be like Master Shadows has to be like his biggest game.
Yeah.
It's like, good God, I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't know this was based off something.
Nope, me neither.
Else. Yeah,
I just thought this was generic fantasy stuff.
So, well, yeah. Well, now we learned something. This is actually based off a game that not super popular, but this one is actually done well. I mean, the Metacritic scores are basically average, like 71, 70, 69. Yeah, Xbox only got 69. There you go.
Nice.
GameSpot really didn't like the game. Gave it a 5 out of 10. They didn't respect that. But overall, I thought I read reviews were pretty all right about this game. Like, it's satisfying. Like, that like for a stealth game. I mean, I'm not really in stealth games, so that's why I was going to look at. But I know graphically it looked good, and I remember seeing some trailers and stuff for it. I thought it was fun, and hey, must have sold enough that it got a sequel.
Yep.
So yeah. The guys who did this should have did like the Golem game.
Secretly they did, and we're just like, oh no, they did the Golem game.
All right. What else we have? We have Borderlands, the pre-sequel. This is the game that came out after 2. That's supposed to take place before 2 and maybe 1. It probably took place before 1, 2. But yeah, this is when Jack was young and he wasn't a bad guy. You didn't play as him, but he was helping you out with these new crew, and you could play for the first time as the bot. What's the bot name? Claptrap. Yeah, you can play as Claptrap, and that's how I used to pick. And actually, that's one of the best characters because you do go out in space where you have oxygen. You have oxygen, so you have to watch your oxygen. But if you're Claptrap, he doesn't breathe, so you just go. You don't have to worry about that. But you know what? Playing as a human, I don't know many people who died because of oxygen. Like it seems like there's always some place to get more oxygen. Because I think when you kill guys, you get oxygen from them, and yeah, I never had trouble. My friend never had trouble. Like we never had trouble with that, so it wasn't never like a crutch really. So I was like, oh, it's fine. It's just like it wasn't like, hey, everybody just like to play a trap because we don't want to die. But no, the pre-sequel was fine. It wasn't as good as 2, but it was fine. I know me and my friend, we played through it. I mean, we love Borderlands. We just always play that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it was definitely just a fine in between for 3. 3 was just unfortunate because it's like 3 was like it didn't really do much for the series. So I'm hoping 4 really does that. Really moves the series forward to something more. And yeah, Borderlands the pre-sequel was really good because um, it really kept like the Borderlands going, and it didn't feel like. I mean, some people. I mean, I get that some people say like, it was pretty meaningless, but not story wise. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good story of like showing how Jack became what he is and going through it. Like I had fun. I mean, it like I said, 2 is the best one out of all of them, but pre-sequel was fine. I liked it better than 1. Um, all right. What else is there? There's The Evil Within. This is that survival horror
Spooky
game
season.
that was made by the guy who did the original Resident Evil. That's what it was,
Shinji
right?
Mikami.
Shinji Mikami. Yeah. And also it's published by Bethesda Softworks, so it was like, oh, it's Bethesda published game.
Because this was Tango Gameworks, the one that just got shut down.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, this is like, this is their first game, right?
Yeah,
With Bethesda, yeah. So yeah, this is really anticipated. So people were looking at this like, oh, this is gonna be great. When it came out, it was good. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
it's fine.
It wasn't really great. Yeah, it wasn't like groundbreaking or nothing. It was fine. So that was a little disappointment for me. I was really thinking like, oh, this is like it's going to be like the next huge horror game that could like people. But it was just a fine game. It did get a sequel, but that was basically it for that series. Yeah, because you look at it, 68 on PC, 75 on PS4, 79 on Xbox One.
The sequel got rated quite a bit higher. I don't know that I'm surprised by that, but I feel like people don't specifically say like, oh man, The Evil Within 2. They just kind of talk about the series in general when they talk about like wanting another one.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Game Informer gave it a 9.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like
they got the money hat that time, huh?
Game Trailers too. Yeah, Game Trailers got the money too. Yeah. Was what's called still at Game Trailers? I think he probably was. He got the money. What's his name?
Is that Keeley?
Yeah, Zach Keeley. Yeah, but I don't think he did mess with the views. I'm not sure. I don't think he did. But yeah, Evil Within. Never played it, but I've seen people play it, and yeah, it's a horror game. I mean, it's not really much for me to say on it. But yeah, I mean, the new Resident Evils weren't out, so
yep.
This was
was trying to do the Resident Evil 4 thing and didn't quite hit the mark there.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? What we got here? Shadow Warrior.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years for the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, the first like remake of it, I guess. Because it was originally a game, in the 90s? Was it the 90s it came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, around the same time Duke Nukem came out.
And this was good. This is well done. Like, for a game, I wouldn't like a AAA studio or nothing. Because, yeah, I mean, it was Flying Wild Hogs. Yeah, Devolver Digital. Yeah, they were the publishers. And this is like, Devolver Digital, this is like the early times. Like, they were publishers, but, it wasn't like a lot of games or a lot of top tier games or nothing. But now
it wasn't like as soon as you see their name, you're gonna get something good.
Yeah, but this game turned out a whole lot better than I thought. Because I remember when I finally got to play it free through one of those services. I was like, wow, this is actually fun. Like, it's fun. The like gameplay wise was fun. The dialogue was funny. I really liked it. Like I liked it better than 2, Shadow Warriors 2. Even though Shadow Warriors 2 was good. I mean, it was really good. I just think 'cause I think Shadow Warriors 2 you got a little more serious.
Mm.
And I missed the guy. I missed that ghost guy because he goes away on you because story reasons. But yeah, Shadow Warrior 1, that was a fun game, man. And just the combination of the guns and the sword. I mean, yeah, it was great. 3, they really changed it up. Um, I still haven't finished that one. I mean, I haven't gotten really that far in it, but just I don't know, the tone of it wasn't the same as the other ones. And I mean, like I guess it wasn't a real Asian person talking for the main character in the
Mm.
other ones.
Yeah.
And I mean, but the tone of it's like they're kind of making fun of this stuff. Like it's supposed to be like, oh, like a jokey way, but
Yeah, because that original game was real bad with that stuff.
oh, the rich, oh yeah,
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 the '90s one. It was. I mean, the
yeah,
main character's name was Lo Wang. Like, come
yeah,
on.
yeah. It ain't no way. But it's just, yeah. I mean, because now it's a different character. I just wasn't used to it. Yeah, like this new character, um, in 3. But I don't know. One of these days I'll give it another chance. But yeah, Shadow Warrior. I had fun. I actually, what was it? I think I played. It was after COVID when I played this. Yeah, the first one because that's why I
Mm-hmm.
recorded that video of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, darn, yeah, I was like real late to the party. Um, on that. Well, it's funny. It says 2013 up here when I go to the wiki.
Oh, did it come out? Oh, it came on PC
Yeah.
first.
Okay. Darn. I don't remember talking about it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about it. So I mean, so technically it's just the console one. But hey, that's the one I played. This is the one I played. So
Exactly.
so um, what else we have here? We got Bayonetta 2 came out 10 years ago. Man, a lot of people were pissed because this is a Wii U exclusive, and most
Mm-hmm.
people didn't have Wii U. So because Nintendo did help with the development, and they added a lot of Nintendo stuff in there too, like the costumes that look really good, sexy Star Fox and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
But oh man, it was fun. I mean, when I finally got to play it, I enjoyed it. Like it was fun. The cutscenes were outrageous, just like the first one. And this time she got shorter hair though, but it's still fine. And like, yeah, man, the game was. I mean, those type of games never make me cry. Were great. And oh crap, I need to plug in this laptop. Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun when I finally got to play it, but it's unfortunate that you can play nowhere else. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's still shocking that it's, stuck to a Nintendo system, At least you can play it on the Switch now, which lots more people have.
oh yeah,
But
yeah. That's the only
even
good
then
thing.
I think you're dealing with some performance issues. I feel like I remember people were talking about.
Which is
Or just the fact that it's not even in HD technically.
yeah. I turned the Switch. I mean, it's probably out there now, but I didn't know like the power of the Switch. I guess I was either lied to or I don't know. 'Cause I could have sworn it was more powerful than the Wii U, but it seems
Yeah, I mean it's definitely more powerful than the Wii U, but I think there's just something lost in translation there.
because I'm just thinking like, why some of these games aren't running well up here that were running well on that system. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, we see games from the 360 that were,
Yeah,
that weren't running well necessarily. So
yeah, it's just weird. What we got here? Civilization Beyond Earth. Man, I totally forgot about the civilization game. Like I
same.
did not play much of this. We did go to that Foraxicon where they showed it. I was excited
Mm.
for it. But then when I finally got my hands on it, it just was. I don't know. It didn't grab me. It didn't grab me like Civilization does. And now that I see this, I kind of want to go back and play it. Maybe with the DLC, maybe it's better. Um, but yeah, this is the civilization where it's like you actually go into space. It's almost like you imagine, like, hey, you when you beat civilization games, you usually have it like, hey, y'all go into space. Now you're taking civilization
Yeah,
in
you gotta come
space.
back to Earth.
Like that was kind of like the win, like you won. So now it's kind of like, hey, what is it like now that you're in space now, you've gone to another planet and you're colonizing these other planets. And I think they have things seeing like aliens and stuff, but I don't know if it's like you saw, like, I don't know if you ever met an alien race or I don't remember. I just don't remember like if you met alien race or just alien creatures. Like, I don't see. Yeah, I kind of want to go back to play this now to see what actually was. I mean, it got rated well. Like, some people give it high marks, but it didn't just. It didn't. Oh, sorry, I'm moving my mic here. Um, it didn't just garner like that reception like traditional
Yeah.
Civilization did.
Did they do DLC for that one?
I just thought they always did DLC for all these games, honestly.
I thought they did too, but I didn't remember anything specifically.
Yeah, they did.
for
Rising
this
Tide,
one.
it's called.
Oh yeah, okay. No, now I do remember that.
Uh, and it features include a diplomacy system, expanded water gameplay. Oh, water game.
Oh,
Okay.
that means you could play against the Avatar
I
people.
think also I was really hoping more for spaceship stuff to happen. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping, like, hey, like when fighting, you fight in space, but I think you just fight in your planet, like this planet or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Rising Tide it has aquatic cities in Rising Tide. Okay, that's different. This is unlike land-based cities or even ocean cities. In the previous iterations of the game, aquatic-based cities can move. Oh, okay. In addition to the major changes, Rising Tide um, adds two new biomes: Frigid and Ice World, and Primordial a geologically active world. Four new sponsors have been also been added. Oh yes, I think sponsors are the companies that supposedly like fund the colony. All right. Yeah, I got like 80 in game rankings and 81 in Metacritic. So yeah, good. Hold on. So what else do we have here? We got The Lords of the Fallen came out 10 years ago. Really, it's been that long, and now we got The Lords of the Fallen again.
Yep. We got Lords of the Fallen, and now we got Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 years ago was Lords of the Fallen, which is like the Dark Souls like game, right?
Yep.
But I guess the Vikingish or European white men stuff kind. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's effectively what that stuff is anyway.
I mean that's all of them. All of them are European. Like, but this is more. I think it's more Viking. Is it the same, or is it a Viking, or just the guy looks like a Viking? Well, what is it?
I think the guy just looks like a Viking. I remember like swords and armor and stuff like that.
So not just battle axes.
So
not just battle axes. Yeah. Or well, Vikings use swords. They use swords. But
just a lot more naked.
But so I guess it's just that I never actually played it. I don't know if the story's better or whatever.
Yeah, there was a demo because I feel like I remember people saying like, "Oh, this is the easier one," and I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a try," and then it didn't do anything for me.
Bandai Namco still publishes, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So the guys, man, they're hoarding it. They're hoarding the Dark Souls.
Oh
stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Jeez, yeah.
I didn't even know they did.
That's got the patents, Dominic. We didn't know, but we've got the patents.
Yeah, I didn't. Or maybe they just publish it in certain regions, maybe? Because I see right here it's the CI Games publishers, but I see Bandai Namco on this freaking cover here. Yeah, maybe the Dark Souls thing. Yeah, that's a patent, Daniel. That's what it should do. Like
Got them
Nintendo
locked down.
or which was it?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah,
Nemesis system.
Yeah. We patent Souls like games.
That'd be messed up.
But yeah, it got it was just okay. Like it was average.
Yeah.
It was average. It had decent score. Like Game Informer get 8.5. We got like 7.5 from IGN. Well, 7.4 from IGN. Probably gonna get a 7.5. GameSpot give it an 8.
Souls pilled. They just wanted more Souls-esque games.
Yeah,
and they got them.
Let's see. Oh, your boy Dan Tack called the game a surprising sleeper and scored it at 8.5. He said Lords of the Fallen is a surprisingly solid title that wasn't even on my radar. While it borrows heavily from Dark Souls franchise, it's done well with its own signature flair. I highly recommend this game to anyone who enjoys that series. And if you haven't gone down the road before, it might be more forgiving entry point into the action RPG. All right.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. All right. What else came out here? And we got Sunset Overdrive came out. This was been advertised on Xbox and it's like, oh man, Xbox got Insomniac games and they got a new game, Sunset Overdrive, very colorful and actiony. It looked really good.
Very excited about this game.
And I remember you got it. And so how'd you feel after you played it?
It was okay. They had this like weird mix of like third person shooter meets Tony Hawk because you're like always grinding on stuff. And I felt like that didn't work quite as well as maybe they had hoped, or maybe I had hoped. Maybe it worked exactly as well as they had planned on it working. I liked the general vibe of the game and the aesthetic of it. It definitely took their like over the top stuff, but mixed it more with like human elements instead of just, Ratchet and Clank style stuff. This was definitely a step up from Fuse or whatever that I think their last game before this would have been. But yeah, it just didn't quite hit the mark. It's one of these games that I would kind of like to go back and give another shot to see if maybe it hits a little differently now. It gives me at least like, maybe I have like a nostalgia bias for it. It's like, oh, this is better than I thought it was. But in the time, it just didn't grab me quite as much as I had hoped it would, being such a big fan of Insomniac.
Yeah. When I played it, finally got my hands on it. Yeah, I just think, it didn't really grab me. Like, it seemed like it was fun, but I never could stay with it. Like, stay with it. And, I definitely see the element of Insomniac with it. Just the look of it, like with Ratchet & Clank and the guns. But
yeah,
it just, I don't know. There was something about it that, like you said, the grind stuff wasn't as fun as.
No, it felt almost more like a chore trying to like aim at these enemies while you're grinding. But you wanted to be grinding because if you weren't moving, then the enemies were hitting you and they were doing a lot more damage to you than you were to them, I feel like.
I wish there was like a better, I don't know, some better targeting or aiming with it that it's just made it like, I think it made it
some hard. Aim assist.
But it was okay. And I think it finally did. Did it finally come over to PlayStation? Like years later?
You know what? I don't remember. I know it came to PC. And I think there were rumors that it was going to come to PlayStation eventually, but that hasn't ever actually happened.
Okay. Well then, that's good. They got to say like, no, you're not allowed to until we get Spider-Man.
8 months ago, a post from Reddit, Sony may be remastering Sunset Overdrive. Because I'm pretty sure they probably own the rights to it. I don't remember if like Microsoft had them at some point and they gave them back to Insomniac, or if Insomniac just had them the entire time. But they own the IP.
They should remaster Fuse,
so they can. They should remake Fuse if they're going to do anything to Fuse. Burn it down and start over again with the cartoony look.
Yeah,
exactly. Just make it Overwatch. That's what it was.
All right, so that's it, right? For 2014.
Let's see. Did I see anything else? Yep, that's it for 2014. Yeah, unless you want to talk about Winx Club saving Elf.
I think I remember seeing that cartoon. And toys.
I remember that cartoon.
But all right, so now we go back 20 years ago, 2004, and we got Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door came out for the GameCube. Did you play this one?
Yeah. I own this game, and I probably played a little bit of it, but not a whole lot of it. This is the one that just got the remake, right?
I want to say, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, I'm sure it reviewed quite well, and is quite a good game. I just haven't spent a lot of time with it. And at this point, I guess I would probably just end up playing the Switch version.
Yeah, I never played this one. But now, like, in the first, I didn't really care because, like I said, those 2D games, I was like, man, why do I care about 2D? I want the 3D Mario. But now I have more appreciation for them that I want to get my hands on it. Also, Blood Rain 2 came out. This was the game with the sexy lady on the front, vampire lady.
Yes, it was.
And because the first game, they were definitely selling her on that, and then so they got a sequel because that sold very well.
Despite not being a very good game, and this also not being a particularly good game.
Yeah, but sex sells, baby.
It does. This was definitely like peak, sex sells.
I mean, there was no Tomb Raider. No Tomb Raider around.
Yeah. That's true.
And
this was the replacement for Angel of Darkness.
70 out of 100 for PS2, 71 for Xbox, 67 for PC. Yeah, really didn't get that good review. So Game Informer gave it an 8 out of 10. That's the highest review I've really seen. Yeah, I see.
That's why they're defunct now, Dominic.
But Blood Rain. Yeah, I don't think I ever even played. If there was a demo, I don't think I even played that either.
I was gonna say there was a demo on 360 for one of them, I think, at some point, and I played that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I never really played a Blood Rain. But is it? I think they were better than the movie, though. I want to say.
Probably, but just because that bar would have been so absolutely low that. Yet somehow there was at least 2 Blood Rain movies.
There were 2? Wow.
Yep.
Both based on the games, right? They are both just based on.
Blood Rain 2 Deliverance from Uwe Boll, starring Christina Loken. I think that's the Lady Terminator.
Oh, that's okay. I was thinking it was the girl who did I thought the person who would play Blood Rain will be the girl from Resident Evil. That's what I thought.
No, only if Paul W.S. Anderson also directed.
Because they're married, right?
Yeah, they're married.
All right, where am I at here? So let's see, Blood Rain. We got okay, Boktai. What the heck is this? Boktai 2 Solar Boy Django?
Yeah. I wanted to mention this because this is the sequel to Boktai, which was the Hideo Kojima game that used the sun sensor on the Game Boy. Mostly I want to mention this just because I didn't remember that game had ever gotten a sequel. And I don't even know if this actually has the sun sensor or not. Oh, wait. Yes, it does. It says it here. Boktai 2 included the photometric light sensor. But yeah, now I kind of want to hunt this game down and see how it is. Reviews are pretty favorable, 78 out of 100, but it just caught me off guard because I really did not remember that there was a second Boktai, or Zoktai, as this also is referred to, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, so I remember you talking about it. But so this is it. That's what it's called. Was this like a cartoon or something?
No, not that I know. That I don't think it ever
I'm thinking
made
about
it to
Bakugan.
being cartoon status.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of. You're thinking of Django Unchained, obviously.
Yeah.
Solar Boy Django.
All right. So what else we got here? Is Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War. Ace Combat, this is a sequel to Ace Combat 4, which got really good reviews, and Ace Combat fans 5 also did. I mean, I think people like 4 better, but Ace Combat 5 kept it going. I mean, like this realistic looking game, but it's easy to grasp, like easy to play. It's an arcade fighting game, I mean flight game. And they said like the voice acting was okay in this, but Ace Combat, yeah, like it was still hitting stride, like as far as good. Yeah, I got 84 on Metacritic. There was some like Eurogamer gave it a 6 out of 10, and computer video games give it a 6 out of 10. But look, Game 4 give it a 9. Like that's huge. And then like
Yeah.
Game Pro gave it a 4 out of 5. Game Spot gave it an 8.3. IGN gave it a 9.3. So what's going on here? And Famitsu gave it a 34 out of 40. And they got B plus 1 up. So Eurogamer and computer video games, like they're like the super low scores. like up here.
Yeah.
Like it's
Bringing down the average.
Yeah, they really did. But yeah, I mean, it sold well. Like Ace Combat, man, was really selling. Yeah, because I think 4 was the one I really paid attention to, because I was looking at because 3, I forgot when 3 came out. I don't know if it was PlayStation or PS2. But some reason I remember 4, because I think I seen like a video or something of it. I was like, darn, this game looks good. I said I just wish it wasn't a flight game, but then when I learned like it's arcadey, I was like, wow. I mean, even still, I didn't play it, but I didn't play it till a lot later. And I think it was a demo. And I was like, this actually feels really good. What we got here? We also, Grand Theft Auto Advance came out.
Yeah.
So Grand Theft Auto's
at the time,
boy.
Yeah, at the time, Nintendo fans were not eating well in regards to Grand Theft Auto. So we took what we could get, and this was basically like a prequel to Grand Theft Auto 3, but used the style of the old, 1 and 2 top-down view.
I'm surprised like they didn't just do that. They didn't make that game and just put it for Game Boy Advance. Well, they still would have had to remake it, because that still wouldn't work. Yeah. So did it turn out? Was this okay?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't great. It wasn't really until like Chinatown Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first good handheld one.
Yeah. But this is how desperate Nintendo fans were to get something Grand Theft Auto related from the time that 3 came out and blew up so big.
Did you get hookers and cars like the other games?
Probably. I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know. Nintendo probably was like,
you
saying
get Princess
no.
Peach in cars. That's all.
What else we got here? Is that it for?
No, there's one very big one. Also Grand Theft Auto related. San Andreas came out.
Because I clicked on the Grand Theft Auto thing, it blocked it. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, yes, this was huge. This is some people at the time. This is considered like the best Grand Theft Auto. Even today, I mean, there's some arguments for that.
There's some arguments.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we know Grand Theft Auto 5 is the most successful one because of the online play. But Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I mean, the story was good. This is the first one that you actually like had these 3 huge areas to go to. Like the maps were huge. You talk about all the vehicles you can play in this game, like everything you can do. Like also like how you can look, you can go out and eat, and if you eat too much, you get fat. Yeah, she'll look fat, or you can go work out and get buff. He's always said like he would just always just wear a white tee, like a wife beater, because he's always got buff. He said, because you always say, like, I always imagine myself to be like this, so now I can be like this. This is, he say, like, he never wore a shirt, um, yeah, this game, it was great. Like, I just remember, like, I was working at a place called Foreman Mills, which is like a clothing store. And I just remember working with somebody, and like you were in what was the game called? Like Grove Street, I think. And like that's your neighborhood. And then he said,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
grocery. Yep.
yeah, because he gave you a ride. And he yelled for the car. It's like, that's right, because we was about to play the game. He said, "Yeah, remember Grove Street, man? It's like Grove Street. It's like represent Grove Street, man. It's like it was great.
Grocery for life.
Yeah." That's what I think. That's what he said. I think he said "Grove Street for life." Grove Street for life, man. But yeah, I mean, it got that feel, got that '90s feel of like, because that '90s rap and everything.
West Coast gangster stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. Like, the game was great. And then of course I had the controversy, the hot coffee mob, which is so ridiculous compared to today. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, actually, you know what? That could have been in the game. It's just that it was hiding it. It was hiding. That was the issue. It's that it was in the code, and then someone found it.
Yeah, and wasn't reviewed, basically, like wasn't included in the ESRB rating.
Yeah, because somebody would have said, "No, this is rated A. This has got to be for adults only."
God, I wonder how much a copy of that with like the AO rating is nowadays.
I mean,
because didn't they release like one with the AO rating?
I don't remember. I just know that
I think I'm
one
wrong.
said, but
yeah, I think I'm wrong about that. But
it was ridiculous. And then they came out with the other version, which is funny because
the patched version.
Mine's because I went to unlock it, but I couldn't because my disc got messed up, and so I thought I had to buy it again. That's when the patched in one I had to get. I was like, oh man! So I had to either Action Replay or Game Shark that was just going to unlock it for me, and I was like, I can't even do it. I said, I can't even look at it. Then my friend, my friend had it, but I never looked at it on. I don't think I ever go to his house and look at it. I just know he just told me it was stupid, and I think by the time I got to see it, I think when I finally looked at YouTube for the first time. I think I saw it up there, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is what everybody was mad about." I was like,
yeah, exactly, fully clothed.
Yeah, I really thought it was like some pixelated titties up there or something. Oh man, yeah, it's like this is nothing. Yeah, especially compared to now in these games, man, this is it was very tamed.
Yes,
tamed. All right. So there is
cut to Baldur's Gate 3 nowadays.
Yeah, you having sex with bears in that game. All right. All right. So that's it for 2004. So now we're going to 30 years ago, 1994. There's a game I didn't know about, Shin Megami Tensei If.
Oh.
That came out in 1994, Shin Megami Tensei game. I should have looked up what the heck it was. Because I saw.
Is that the very first Shin Megami Tensei game?
I don't know if it was the very first one or not. But I think I saw like something like it was like
no real idea when
so I was like, oh,
actually started.
And I think I spelled his name wrong. But let's see if Google would correct me. Oh, my internet.
Oh man, started in 1987.
Hold on, man. The internet's kind of went wonky on me here.
Gotcha.
All right. Here we go. I got to it. Yeah, it was published by Atlas. And it was on the Super Famicom. Well, it was a role playing video game, and so yeah, I guess he started role playing. It says it's a spinoff of from the Shin Megami Tensei series, so he's had other games that's come out. What is it? If is a role-playing game which players take the role of a protagonist, an unnamed boy or girl who appears in later Megami Tensei titles.
How progressive of
as a girl named Tamaki Uchida, as the protagonist. The player explores both the demon-infested Kara, Saka High School and Five Towers based on the Seven Deadly Sins. It's always something with kids in high school, man, in his games, man. Like, he really, I mean, that's like, it's always a theme. It's always seemed like that's the theme.
What you're
Like,
saying is start an investigation.
no, not like, I wasn't saying nothing sexual. I was saying that his theme is always like kids in high school and they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
During the course of the game, using a wrist-mounted device called a comp, the player finds demons through a turn-based battle system using physical and magical attacks to deal damage, as well as healing party members and casting status buffs and alignments on enemies. So, I mean, it's Persona. Especially it's early Persona before Persona. I just want to know, like, yeah, what's his first game? What's like the first game he ever?
It's like 1987 is the first Shin Megami game, apparently.
Okay, this is on Super Nintendo, crazy. By the way, and I don't think it ever came to the U.S. Yeah, this never came to the U.S. Not even like later years when they probably, you probably had to get. I'm sure that somebody's probably got a mod or something. Maybe they translated.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it came on PlayStation also, and not in Japan. Japanese version.
We can't be trusted with the series, Dominic.
Yeah, I mean now he's big. But yeah, this is an early one, and they got like man, I saw that people did like it. They like this. Also, yeah. I wonder what that stands for though. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
It actually stands for IF, Infinity Flagrancy.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't
Infinite
know.
fertility.
But all right. So what else we have here? We got Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures came out on the Super Nintendo, and this game is actually rated pretty well. It's a Indiana Jones action game. Like, I mean, I didn't really know about it, but apparently, like, people really like it, and they should bring it back. So the new Indiana Jones for the Xbox, and well, it's gonna come on everything. Has some big shoes to fill, Daniel, because this game,
yes,
people are gonna look back and like, is it good as this one? That's what people are going to say. Is it going to be as good as this game? Factor 5 made this game. Let me see. Let's see them.
It's pretty incredible to me looking back at like these licensed games from that era and like how many of them are perceived as like some of the best games on the consoles, because it's like nowadays it's just shovelware tread. I mean, nowadays we don't even really get them much, but you know, when we were still getting them in like the 360 era, it was just like shovelware trash.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that is nostalgia or if they're actually like really good games.
Yeah, I got 75% on game rankings. I see like some 82 computer video games. EGM gave it a 7. IGN gave it an 8. Nintendo Life gave it an 8 for the virtual console. I mean, like, yeah, it seemed like it's a pretty good side-scrolling game, side-scrolling action game. Indiana Jones, not as good as the Temple of Doom that's in the what's the one that's the LucasArts one? I think that is Temple of Doom, right? The one that was the one point and click adventure one.
Is it that or
is it called something
Atlantis?
Else? Oh yeah, Atlantis, yeah. But I think did it make more than one?
Let's see. Fate of Atlantis.
Oh yeah, okay, it's that one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I'm seeing.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the I think that was pretty good.
They also did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphic adventure.
That's what it was. It was Temple of Doom graphic adventure. Temple of Doom, that was like the worst. Well, before these newer ones. That was like the worst one, right? I mean, that was
That's where they had Indy and Sean Connery having sex because it was graphic.
no. Last Crusade is Sean Connery.
That's what this one is.
No, I was saying Temple of Doom. I was saying Temple of Doom was like the worst. Yeah. I think that was the worst. That's the one with Steven Spielberg's then wife. I think because
really?
that's what it said. Like she only got the part because she sleeps with him. And then they had what was that? The Asian dude, the Asian boy. What was his name? Round Mound.
What is it? Yeah.
Darren, it's round. It's
something round.
Short round.
Short round. Yeah, short round.
And I was like, "What is that Japanese? Is that real like Japanese name or something? I never heard that before." And to this day, I have
no. He's just short and round.
I never heard. Yeah, his name is Short Round. I mean, what the hell is that? Like, where does that come from?
Because he's short and round.
He wasn't though. He was short. That's about it.
To Indiana Jones, they all look round, Dominic.
All right. So last but not least, man, one of the biggest releases released 30 years ago, probably the biggest release for 1994, Doom 2 was released. This is a sequel to Doom, and this game was popular as hell. Like, this is like a lot of people, when people talk about like the birth of like first-person shooters, like Doom 2 is like the height of it. Like, that's the one that really got things off. Like, I mean, I'm talking about like there was so many freaking like mods with this game, and man, like people just done with this game, and it was just crazy. And I remember playing this. I remember playing this even with my friend. Like, he would be on his computer, I'll be on mine, and like he showed me how to figure out how we can play together online. And I was like, "Oh man, it's the first time I ever did it," and it was cool. Mm-hmm. And then my dad, he would hook it up, so he was playing in the basement while I was playing in my room. But he stopped playing with me. He stopped playing with me because I kept killing him. Because I would purposely kill. Yeah, because I thought it was cool. I didn't, because that's the first time I ever see you go kill your friend. It's so he said he even told me, he said, "I'm not gonna play no more if you kill me again." That's okay. So we were playing, and then we got near the end of the level, and I killed him. And then I went to the level. He stopped playing with me. But yeah, that was Doom 2, man. That was fun as hell. Yeah, I played the crap out of that game on PC. And and see, that's the thing, like the mouse and keyboard, because I didn't play a mouse and keyboard in a long time. See, I didn't involve with games. That was the last time I played. That was the last game, fast-paced game I played with mouse and keyboard. Mm-hmm. So they were simple. All you did was move the mouse to turn around and stuff, and you use the arrow, or you might have to use the arrows or something like that. I didn't use WASD. But well, actually, it was just with the mouse. I didn't have to use the keyboard at all with Doom. Yeah, because
really?
Yeah, because I just pushed the mouse forward and he would go forward.
Wow.
I never did use WASD.
It was for me. It was the arrow keys.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think at first I was using arrow keys, and then I think it was a setup where you can just move by going forward, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
And I would do that. I mean, it was kind of moving slow, but I could still turn around and shoot the guys fast enough. But but it wasn't. Yeah, so when I got to these other games, and I was trying to do mouse keyboard, it was like, oh, I got to learn the freaking keyboard, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, and like it was just too much. And I was like, no, just give me. I want a controller. Like Call of Duty. It's like I need a controller, man. So I don't know how to freaking move this stuff on Call of Duty. Allied Assault. I was like, man, what the heck is this? Like, I don't know how to do this. I was like, well, I'm not moving forward. Like, moving the mouse forward. I was moving the mouse forward, and I was like, why? And then I saw like, oh, I got to use the arrow keys. Then it said like WASD. I said, what? You got to use the keyboard. I said, oh my God, it's so confusing.
Why would I use letters to move? They're perfectly good arrow keys right here.
Yeah, so I didn't see. Yeah, it's not the same as like I didn't start out with that, and then my brain, I'm just still thinking the old way, and I just used a controller, so I was like, man, let's go play with a controller. There's no way I can do that. I mean, I'm not going to get used to it. So yeah, so that's it. Oh yeah, you got anything to say about Doom 2?
No, because I'm played, I'm sure, like the first campaign of it quite a bit, because that would have been part of like the shareware of it.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember any specifics of it, to be honest with you. I mean, Doom and Doom 2 kind of just blend together for me, because I probably would have been playing at the same time, because I never played Doom like at release, you know?
Yeah, so yeah, I think with Doom 2, I think I was playing the shareware a lot, like before I got the full game. I think my dad had the shareware, and then later on I got the full game, either from my friend across the alley or him. I forget. I shouldn't say friend across the alley. It just sounds like he lives in like an alley. But it was like a house. It was a house.
There's another house.
Yeah.
There's an alley between them.
Yeah. It was some guy who lives in the alley.
But he's got a sweet rig.
Yeah,
He's got an awesome computer for the time.
Only memories with that game.
Yeah.
All right, then. So I guess we'll take a quick break when we get back and get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, man?
All right. First up, Dominic, it seems like Netflix is getting out of the video gaming development business, at least.
Oh, okay.
They're probably still pretty serious about video games, but yeah, they had closed, or they had opened a AAA studio that they were just referencing as Blue, and it had Overwatch veteran Chaco Sonny, Halo veteran Joseph Staten, who was a big guy at Bungie in 343, and former Sony Santa Monica art director Rafael Grassetti. So some pretty big names from some pretty big places. And that has recently closed, which doesn't entirely surprise me. They started down this road around the same time that the likes of like Google did, and obviously Google dropped out pretty quickly. I mean, even companies like Ubisoft, you know, companies that have been doing this forever now, are struggling to profit. And at the end of the day, that's all these companies are looking for out of video games anyway. So I could see why a company that already has its hands in plenty of other things making its money, like why attempt to go down this road, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. Like, say, yeah, we've been seeing that now. Like, we always see Amazon, you know, make changes on theirs, and it's just sad that nothing came of it though. Like, that nothing came out of this really to even see an attempt. So I don't know. Man,
basically locked that talent down for 2 or 3 years, and we haven't seen anything from it.
Exactly. Like, 'cause they could have been working somewhere else and helping with something else, you know. And that's what's sad. And I want to know, like, is it like, yeah, they shut it down, but what was started? What was started there before the shutdown?
How far did they get?
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious what it is. It'd be funny if it was like it's nothing. Everything was still in planning stages.
I was going to say, there's just a lot of whiteboards with a lot of scribbles all over them. That's all. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, like I mentioned, Ubisoft having trouble. They disbanded the team behind Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown, which is the Metroidvania that came out earlier in the year to very high praise, great reception. It sounds like maybe the sales did not meet expectations, which is sad because that game did come out at a discounted price. It wasn't a $70 game, because I think a lot of people realize nowadays you can't really sell a 2D game with the same pricing model effectively, because people just look at it and go, that's a 2D game. Why would I?
Yeah, unless it's
why would I pay
Mario.
$70 for
Unless
that?
it's Mario.
Yeah. Unless, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Nintendo just has that Nintendo factor where they can do that. And I mean, even, like Metroid to an extent still struggles to sell, any a real huge amount if it's not like the Prime series. Yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate because what I played of that game, and that's one of the games on my list to go back to before the end of the year, I really enjoyed. And like I said, all the reviews were like super positive on it. So to see this kind of team get blown to the wind, basically, it sounds like, at least they're keeping them internally, but that, that means they're just doing Assassin's Creed weapons or something, It's just like how all the studios get sucked into the Call of Duty bubble. These people probably just get sucked into that bubble, and it's like, man, it's so crazy too, because they went from like, oh, we're doing this Prince of Persia remake to like a year of several Prince of Persia games, because they also had that Rogue Prince game that at least went into early access. I don't think that actually ended up releasing necessarily, but from the Dead Cells developers.
Man, yeah, that's man. I mean, that's sad that they had to do that, but I mean, I don't know. Like that, it's. I think somebody mentioned about them because the game is through their storefront.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? But did it ever come to Steam?
I think it's on Steam now, but yeah, it was locked into theirs and Epic stores when it first launched.
Yeah, some people are blaming. And you know what? As much, I mean, I still think it's stupid. Like I still think it's stupid that, like, I mean, how people feel about the Epic store, that like they just won't bother at all. But it seems like, I mean, but if I'm a game developer or a company, I'm going to go where the people are. I mean, to Steam. Like, I'm not going to do that with Epic
unless I get lots of money from Epic.
I mean, yeah, that's
make
obviously
me not go there.
Obviously, I mean, like that would compensate me for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you have to go where the market is, even when the market they're dumb. You have to go where I mean, because the reason for what they don't buy, because I'm thinking like, dude, is you just load the game up. I mean, yeah, it opens up that browser or whatever, but oh well. I mean, like, it's really small inconvenience, and
yeah.
I mean, and then I'm just thinking like, I don't want Steam to be. See, now it gets to a point where Steam is the only one. It's like, come on, man, that don't feel right to me at all. Like, if I prefer Steam and I just get Steam, I like the idea that there's something else out there. I don't like the idea that one company is just holding all these games and that everybody has to go through them. Like, I kind of wish people would just go back to the old ways where you don't give me a freaking launcher. Just say, hey, you have to go to our website to buy the game, but that's it. You buy the game.
Here's .exe.
And then you click on it. No launcher launch. It just launches the game. That's it. Like, the only thing you have to do is go to my site to buy the game. I mean, because that's where it is. I mean, I'm not going to put on there. I'm not going to charge. I mean, make them charge me to hold the game or something like that. Nah, I'll put it up there. And like, I mean, that's what I'd rather have, instead of having like just them having a monopoly over that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, because at this point, I'm just thinking, like, what does Epic have to do to get people not to feel that way? And I think there's nothing they could do.
No, it's really difficult. I mean, and part of it, like the only justification I'll really give people as far as like wanting to lock into Steam is because they have the established history now, right? Like I feel like some people are afraid that Epic could just pack their bags and leave one day, and then what happens to all the games that they purchased? Whereas at least Steam has been around so long, and kind of, I believe they've also messaged about what they would do if that were to happen. So you wouldn't necessarily lose access to your games. I think some people are concerned about that, but you're right. Like, I don't want Steam to be a monopoly. I want there to be other people out there trying to compete, and that's why I like Epic Store, because I get a whole bunch of free games because they're trying to compete.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not going to play those games necessarily. So, all right, Dominic, speaking of Steam, Spider-Man 2 will be coming to the PC on January 30th next year. They have also confirmed that there will be no story DLC for that game, which is disappointing.
That is disappointing. That is.
First one got quite a few pieces, and I know a lot of people were talking about like Carnage DLC because they kind of teased some of that stuff there. It always felt like Carnage would have been much more than just like a DLC thing.
That's what I thought.
I mean, obviously,
I thought it was,
you could do.
I thought that was like a next game thing, but they just have some other story that happened. I don't know. I mean,
there's a lot of stuff they could address in there. I mean, even if they wanted to go down like the Silk Path or whatnot. And then obviously you could see a world where they do a Venom-esque spinoff in the way that they did like the Miles Morales kind of expand alone, as people will refer to those types of things. I don't know how much the like leak from Insomniac screwed up all their plans of doing any of this stuff. If that's the case, that's real unfortunate, but I guess we're just in a holding pattern now until Wolverine, and then after Wolverine, another Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, is it like, does the money of development like that? It's like, hey, just focus on these other games. No more. Yeah. This game is done. Like, is that right. What it is? Like is it money? Is money the reason why that's happened? Like, or they spend too much time on that multiplayer thing, and that's canceled. I don't know. Like, it sucks.
Because we've talked about it before, like using the assets that you created for this game to create some sort of smaller experience is probably the best way to wring some more money out of that, and whether that be DLC or an expand alone or what. But I guess they have decided not to go down that path, Dominic. All right, speaking of DLC, I'm going to jump down here real quick. Vampire Survivors is finally getting the most obvious DLC ever.
Exactly.
They are getting Castlevania DLC. Yes, that was Konami testing the waters. Like, can we trust these guys to do what we want them to do? Yes, okay, then we'll give them Castlevania. This expansion or DLC is coming out on October 31st. It is going to be $4, which is the most expensive of their DLCs. Effectively the same price as the game was at one point in time, but that is because they are going to be offering a lot in this. It's going to have 20 plus characters, 40 plus new weapons, a very large castle level, and they said like a minimum of 10 hours of extra gameplay for this thing.
Yeah,
so
when I saw that,
like it's going to be pretty solid.
I was like, oh, okay, so this ain't just like the other DLC. This is huge.
And they're having like every single Castlevania protagonist ever. We're talking even like weird white blonde hair or white haired guy from the DS game. You know, we've got everybody.
What about
here.
The guys from the show, of the TV show?
You know what? I don't know about that. Aren't the TV show people characters that were already in the game?
Some of them were, but I didn't think all of them were though. I mean, maybe they are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know characters like that, but I just assumed that some of them were like
original.
Yeah. That black man, was that black man in the games?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a black man in the show.
Yeah.
I gotta get around to watching the show. But yeah, there's. It seems awesome. I'm very excited that they're finally getting the DLC that they very much should have since like day one. That should be very cool. I'm sure that's going to put this game back on a lot of people's radar. They were actually doing a free weekend on the Switch for Vampire Survivors, and I was tempted to download it. All right, Dominic, we'll just save the Xbox partner thing for the end.
All right.
Go to the next one. New Nintendo hardware released and announced, not the Switch 2. They're making an alarm clock, Dominic. It's the Nintendo Alarmo. It's a little alarm clock that sits by your bed and watches you while you sleep, while Mario and Link do weird animations on the screen and try and wake you up when the time comes. The concept, I guess, is kind of cool. Like it's got motion sensors in there, basically like a Kinect style camera almost. But it's not a camera. They want you to know that they're not recording you. They want you to know.
That's exactly what they're doing. Why would they tell you? Why would they say we are recording you?
That's true. Why would they tell you? That's how my video leaked. Got it. Yeah, but one of the interesting things is like, I mean, this is targeted towards kids, despite the fact that like Nintendo adults are obviously going to want it because they flat out say like if there's somebody else in the bed with you, it doesn't really work in the way that it's intended, where it first sets off the alarm and like tries to gradually wake you up, and if you don't move, then it gets louder, and if you stir a little bit, it's like trying to encourage you to get up. It's a cute little novelty thing. I've seen a lot of people describe this as like the evolution of the like mini consoles, or like the Game and Watch things. Basically something for Nintendo to have on the shelves during the holiday season that's like around $100. So like more expensive, but not like, oh, here's a console, just for like grandparents to buy their kids or something like that, and Nintendo to pull a little money out of that. So yeah, I have no interest in this thing, Dominic. I got a phone, it's going to wake me up. And honestly, if I start listening to like Zelda songs to wake me up, I'm probably just going to start hating those songs because that's what means I'm starting my day and going to work or whatever.
It's never a happy noise for me with the alarm.
No. And the one that I use, which is just like the most basic of things, like if I ever hear anybody else's go off with the same thing, or if for whatever reason it goes off, like instantly anxiety triggering, it's just like,
Hey, they should do a Nintendo like fire alarm or something like that.
Yes. Smoke detector.
So,
all right.
Like when he's burning on the
fire. Oh no, Mario's butt scorching. Yeah. There's a fire in this house somewhere. All right. Next up, another weird Nintendo thing. They had announced a like beta early access program for some secret software to download to your Switch. A whole bunch of people signed up and got into that. There wasn't like an official NDA, but they were like, hey, we would prefer you not talk about this. And of course, instantly people started talking about this as soon as they were able to start downloading it to their system. It's a weird MMO thing, Dominic. They're making like a weird cross between an MMO and Minecraft and Roblox. They haven't officially said anything about it yet, so we don't really know what their intentions are for this. I've even seen some people speculate that this isn't actually going to be like a game. It's just kind of a stress test for some sort of like server situation for a potential MMO or something like that. It's made by I think it's like Development Team 4 or something like that. They're the ones that made like Labo and Ring Fit Adventure, all the kind of weird things. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was just a game that they plan on releasing at some point, probably, maybe alongside Switch 2. And that way you have Switch 2 players, Switch 1 players. You got, everybody buying this thing. Yeah, it's just there's a little bit of video I've seen online there. I know there were some screenshots. A lot of them have been taken down because Nintendo is going after people. So yeah, it's weird. Have you seen or heard about this at all yet?
Nah, I haven't.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what they're going for. A lot of people leading up to this, there was like a week of speculation between when signups started and when people were first able to download the software. And there was a lot of speculation that it was going to be like a GameCube emulator because you needed the online expansion pass to sign up for it. And some people were saying like it was cloud streaming stuff, that they were going to be doing some cloud streaming GameCube emulator stuff because they can't run it natively or something like that. And no, it just ends up even being crazier than anybody I think anticipated, and is some weird like potential MMORPG. So. All right, Dominic, with all that said, we'll get into the Xbox partner preview. This was pretty breezy. They went through this stuff nice and quickly. Just a lot of trailers, not much talking in between. But they kicked it off with Alan Wake 2 Lake House DLC. That stuff is coming out October. Well, I say coming out. That stuff is out now as of October 22nd. I have not really seen impressions or reviews of that stuff yet.
Yeah, me neither.
But this is when you're starting to see a lot of the crossover between Alan Wake and Control even more than in the base game. So,
and then Max Payne, right?
So that's the thing, is I don't know if they technically own Max Payne. I know they're doing those remakes, and they've talked like vaguely about how Max Payne is also part of like the Remedy verse, but I don't know that they can like officially say that. Yeah, the Remedy verse. Everybody's got to have a verse now.
Quantum Break too.
Yep. Oh yes, Quantum Break. Yeah. Jeez.
Quantum Break. Now look, I'm looking back, and I was like, I think you would have liked that game.
Yeah, it is one of those games that I would like to give a try at some point.
Except for just watching the video, but the gameplay wise and stuff.
Yeah,
I think you would have liked it.
Yeah. Did that made its way back onto Game Pass, didn't it? Because at one point I know it got removed.
I don't know,
but I think it then made its way back on there after a lot of people were complaining about, they said first party games were never going away, and then they're like, well, like something happened and we had to take it down, but now it's back. All right, next up was Chronos: The New Dawn. This is a new game from the Bloober team. They are the people that make the horror games.
Yeah.
And this was a creepy trailer, as basically like third person shooter, and you're playing as like almost a Big Daddy looking esque thing, character in like a diving suit, and in between elements of like him exploring, he's sitting there playing chess with an old woman who it seems like he maybe eventually kills or absorbs or something with his weird spider hand. Definitely looks sufficiently creepy. It sounds like that Silent Hill 2 remake that they made is pretty good. So, and they also came out and said that they're done making shitty games. So hopefully that means this game will be good. You gotta respect a team that's willing to just say, I'm done making shitty games.
Yeah, I know. I suppose acknowledge your game is shitty.
No, those old ones, they're shitty. The new one's not gonna be shitty. All right, next up, Dominic, was Blind Fire. This is a first-person shooter that plays with like light. It's supposed to be like real dark. It looked like Ghost Runner to me. Like the characters had those vibes. They had helmets with because at first I thought they were gonna say like
Ghost Runner.
I thought it was gonna be like, this is Ghost Runners and this is a multiplayer version of Ghost Runner. But yeah, that's that's early access. After that, they showed like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii that got bumped up a couple of days to February 21st, 2025.
Man, I was hoping to see English trailer just to confirm that is English.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're going that way, Dominic.
I know, man. They couldn't get Mark Hamill to talk for what's his name?
Is that who originally played him?
In the original one, in the original game.
Man.
He was the Joker.
He
was a Joker.
They had so much voice talent in that first game. They bet the horse on that thing.
And they lost the horse.
They were like, oh wait, we don't have to do that to sell this game. We just have to be like super weird. Okay, we'll go that route then.
Yeah. Because they just cut out the market here because it was like, I guess the first one didn't sell that well, I guess, and then I guess now people are like they liked it, and it's like, yeah, we don't have to. Mm-hmm. But they did English for like a Dragon. The
first one, right?
The first and last one.
Oh, they did for Infinite Wealth. I'm a little surprised that they aren't doing it for this one.
That's the whole. Maybe that's Hawaii's
maybe they just think
language.
It shows better. What's that?
Hawaii's native language. English.
Yes, it is. Once we force it upon.
Once you force it, yeah.
All right. Next up, Dominic, Mouse PI for Hire. This is that like Steamboat Willie looking first person shooter, and honestly, it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Like the animation on it looks real good. Obviously, like gives kind of Cuphead vibes because you're doing this like retro style, but with very modern gameplay. It looks cool. That should be out next year, I believe they said. Following that was Subnautica 2. That's going to have co-op and access next year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do your underwater deep sea diving, and that's going to be on Game Pass. Animal Well, there's a trailer with Donkey doing the voiceover for that. That's out now on Xbox, not a part of Game Pass, unfortunately. Next up was Eden Zero. This is a licensed manga anime game, and it looked like an anime game.
That's what you thought. Like you saw some big boobies in there, right?
I'm sure I did.
I don't remember. I don't remember what this game looked like.
I don't remember it much outside of it just being like it looks like one of those anime licensed games, like a Naruto game or a Dragon Ball game, where it's just kind of like not necessarily like an arena fighter, but maybe like almost like a Dynasty Warrior action style game where there's just like a lot of stuff going on, but not quite that. Next up was Eternal Strands. This game looks like kind of Monster Hunter-y to me. It's like these big monsters that you're dealing with. Kind of an open worldy situation. And that's coming to Game Pass next year. After that was Mistfall Hunter. This is an extraction Souls-like. So getting all the keywords in there. Because people are big on the extraction shooter thing nowadays. It looks okay. It looks like one of those style games, though. You know, it's got the like drudgy European kind of Knights Templar kind of look to it. After that was Wheel World. This is like a bike-based adventure game coming to Game Pass. That looked kind of cool and chill. It has a very like cel-shaded, smooth art style to it. And you're just like traveling around on your bike, but also like there's races. So it's not just like a super chill thing. Like there's still some like competition there. But that looked neat. After that was Phasmophobia. That is coming to the Xbox on October 29th, just in time for Halloween. This is a game that's been out for a while. For a spell there was a pretty popular streaming game. You're basically, you and your friends go in multiplayer style and hunt ghosts. You've got like ghost trackers and you're trying to find them and figure out what their story is and stuff like that without getting killed by them, basically. Next up was The Legend of Babu. This was coming out in 2025, and it's an action game starring a boy and his very large, furry, husky-looking dog. It looks okay. I didn't get much from it, to be honest with you. After that was Wu Chung Fallen Feathers. That's coming out next year on Game Pass. This looks pretty cool. It's like a Sekiro style, ninja Souls-like game. Maybe a little more fast-paced than your standard Souls game. Yeah, and kind of a little too close to Wolong Fallen Dynasty or whatever that game was. But it looks cool at least. And then they closed out the show with another Remedy game, FBC Firebreak. This is looking to be kind of a Left 4 Dead-like. It's 3-player co-op first-person shooter set in like the Control universe. And yeah, it just... Did you see the trailer for this one, Dominic? Did it do anything for you?
I probably did. I just don't remember. Let me go look it up real quick.
Because it's not like monsters or zombies, I don't think like any of the enemy stuff like stood out to me in the same way that those games did immediately. But like gameplay wise, it seems like it could be really cool.
All right, let me see. Do that co-op. Yeah, exactly. Like it's different. Yeah, it's not monsters, but it's got some weird enemies in there though. They got some weird enemies.
Yeah.
You play as firefighters,
but
right?
Like even Control.
You look like you firefighters. It doesn't look like
it does kind of look like you are just like these weird kitted out firefighters.
Yeah, that's the new firefighters that's going to be doing the fires in the California. Yeah, they actually the prison, like the prisoners, they get out there to do
get militarized gear.
That's what this is gonna be.
Prisoners, we just send out in whatever jumpsuits they got on.
That's what I'm saying. These are the prisoner guys. They said, go out and give these monsters. If you come back alive, you get a pardon.
And then we lie to you. Yeah. Don't give you a pardon.
No, don't. They kill them. They come back and say, we did it. That's a survived. I say, yeah, sure you did. And then you shoot them.
See, I would have said we kept them around in jail. So the next time, because we know they succeeded. So these are the good ones.
Oh, man. Anybody succeed that, they coming back effed up. They can't go back out there.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm keeping them. Now I'm keeping them in jail, Dominic. I'm sending them back out next time monsters come.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You just force them out there.
No, I know they're good at killing the monsters, so they're killing more monsters for me. So yeah, that was the partner preview. Like I said, it was pretty speedy. I appreciated that. It showed just enough of most of these games to kind of get an idea of what they are, and they had some new stuff to show. So that was pretty cool. For a press conference this time of year, we're kind of right before the game awards. So like all your big stuff, if you have any, is probably going to be there. I think they still had some decent stuff to show. So, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, they got me excited. Like Subnautica 2. I wish all these games were on Game Pass, but I know they can't be. But Subnautica 2, Mouse PI, for hire. What else they got? I mean, Alan Wake DLC. I mean, I'm not playing it, but that's good for people who like that game. I think that's really the big one. It's probably another one I just can't remember from the titles here. But the FBC Firebreak. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I still want a nice co-op game. So look for that. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
When I left 5 dead, I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
one day.
Yeah, one day, man. One day.
All right, Dominic, in that case, that is the news we had for these past couple of weeks. Getting to new releases here real quick. We got Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred expansion. That's now out on everything.
Yeah, I wish it was like a Game Pass thing because I have to pay because I want to pay for
Yep.
it.
That's the only downside to Game Pass games is when they start doing like DLC and they don't also
Like,
just
yeah, I
include
get it,
that stuff
but it's
in
like,
there.
well, technically it's just like co-op game. It's not really me. It's multiplayer, but it's co-op. But I'm like, come on, man. Like, don't people buy other stuff in this game? Actually, what do people buy in this game?
That's a good question. I don't even know. Skins?
I guess they do. I mean, because it's nothing. It's probably nothing I don't care about.
Yeah. Companions? Do you have that kind of stuff?
You do, yeah. You do get, like a dog. I know third game you did.
So, all right. Next up, mentioned it earlier, but the Silent Hill 2 remake on PC and PS5.
Oh yeah, I watched people play this. It looked pretty well. It looked pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that it is because I didn't want it just to be a whole Resident Evil thing. That's good. I hope they can now. This would help get a new one, do a new one, and hope that does well.
I wonder if they try and make a Silent Hill 3 remake as well, since those are the two that I think of for that series as being kind of the pinnacle.
The Room. And then I gotta do The Room.
And then they'll do The Room. Hey man, if we're getting to the point where they're talking about making like Resident Evil 6 or whatever remakes, then I think they can talk about making a Silent Hill The Room remake.
Well, the rest 6 should be like remake as far as like it has nothing to do with this Resident Evil we had before. That's what it should be.
We're trying again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. Next up, Backyard Baseball 97. It's back, baby. Were you ever a backyard baseball guy?
Yeah. Well, just for 1 year, but it was a good year.
Was it 97?
I don't think it was. I don't know if the game I played even went by years, but it was something I think either my sister had got or my dad had got for my niece and nephew, but I'm the one who ended up playing it. And like it was that summer, and summer in high school, I want to say. And man, that was fun because I thought it was just a simple game like you just play, but you had a season set up, and like you have these kids, man, different kind of kids. Like you pick what kids you want on your team from the beginning, I guess like a draft or something. And so, and I had like this big girl who was like, I guess like Ortiz or something, like David Ortiz, because she always said like baseball was very, very good to me. Or Sammy Sosa said that. I forgot who said that.
I think it was Sammy.
Yeah, maybe it was Sammy Sosa. But she can knock the home runs. Then I had my best pitcher was a guy in a wheelchair. And like, yeah, man, it was fun, man. And then you had like the world, almost like the kids World Series thing, and like you see this really nice park you play in for that. I was like, wow, I didn't think they put like anything into that. And like, yeah, like they had the playoffs and stuff. It was a fun game, and I'm sure the games after that probably done a whole lot more. And because I was playing this game in the summer, I think between 10th and 11th, either 10th and 11th grade or 9th and 10th grade. I want to say 9th and 10th grade. So I can imagine what it's doing now. Like they added players and stuff now, like real names. But so this is like was this like the best one? Backyard Baseball 97? Was that the best one?
I think it's effectively. I don't even know if they were doing like different years.
I was about to say. Wait a minute. I just thought of that. I was like 97.
Yeah.
I was like nice.
Yeah, they were. This is just like that old game. They're re-releasing it.
Oh, okay.
So that because it hasn't been available for a very long time. So,
man, I might have to check that out then. Yeah, I want to see like what people are saying about it. Like, is it any good? Is there any real names in this one?
No, this is all just the kids.
They lost all the license. They said
they lost the licenses. Yep, they should have teamed up with MLB. I mean, MLB's out there making crappy games. Why not let them use the license?
Even though I like the kids aspect of it, but yeah, good.
But it's fun to see like both together.
Yeah, I mean, because you're seeing kid versions of them. Say, hey, this is this guy when he was young. See, this is Barry Bonds before he took the drugs. There you go.
Look at how small his head was. This is Sammy Sosa. He's not white.
Yeah, he's like.
All right, next up, Dominic. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, X, and S. Yeah, I mean it's one of those games. You had mentioned it earlier, but it's doing. I think review wise, it was doing well.
It was doing okay, yeah. And even though, man, those people would get mad at reviews, don't they? Because people say like,
how could they not?
When the guy was saying like how someone repetitiveness and stuff like that, say like this is what we like. This is for the fans. And I was like, if it's for if you're a fan, you don't need to look at an overview. You need to find a fan review. You look at, I mean, they're out there, the fan reviews. Like this guy is reviewing from a unbiased view of Dragon Ball. Like he's for me because I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and based on his views, it's like I tried it out, but I didn't want to buy it. It's I was like, dude, I mean, for most people, I mean, that is for most people. Like, because no gaming except for like video games or something. Like, majority of people, like it's probably more people that don't like the game than like it, but it still sell well. I mean, once you get enough people to sell. But yeah, like the Dragon Ball Z games, they're different. Like it's like I need that outside check to say, hey, this one's good. Like the Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z. Like, because some of y'all like regular the Budokai type of Dragon Ball, or Sparking Zero Dragon Ball more than that one.
Which is just insanity.
Yeah, it is insanity. But no, I mean, like they said, it's all right. Like I go play it, it feels like it looks like Dragon Ball and it's crazy and stuff, but I can definitely see it being repetitive. Like it is. That's how Xenoverse was. Eventually I got bored. So I can see that. I mean, I kind of just want to do it because I haven't played those games in a while, and I do want to see some of the new stuff, like the new Super and stuff, because I didn't really see all that stuff before. But this game is going to sell. Like, I mean, it should sell well. I mean, I'll be surprised if it don't. I mean, I think it's going to sell a lot of things. I think all of them sold well, man. All the Dragon Ball Z games that coming out. I think Kakarot did great. I mean, I know they had a lot of DLC and stuff for it.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Metaphor Refantazio. That's out on, most of the new stuff. PC, PS4, PS5. You mentioned that earlier. Seems to be doing really well review-wise.
Mm-hmm.
If that was a Game Pass game, I would maybe give it a try.
Whatever.
It seems kind of interesting.
You don't play no RPGs. Get out of here.
That's true. I don't barely play anything, period.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition.
What? I did not know
doing
this was
that
happening.
thing again. Yeah.
For PS5?
Find another pun.
For PS5 and the Series X? Wow.
Yep.
Definitive. The super definitive.
Yes, the super definitive. Yeah. So
all right.
That's out now. We also got Just Dance 2025 edition. Dominic.
I didn't know Darksiders 1 came out with one.
Did they? Did they have one?
Oh. I mean, I just assumed if you're going to do Darksiders 2, you did Darksiders 1. So they didn't do one.
PS5.
They put that Darksiders, what is that? The War Mastered edition.
Yeah, the War Masters. Let's see. There's PS4 edition. I don't see.
Oh, okay.
It's backwards compatible, but I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I say obviously, but it is. But yeah, it doesn't look like they have like a PS5 specific version of that game yet. So. All right, next up, Dominic. Neva, that is the new game from the Greece studio. This one actually looks like it has like combat and stuff in it.
Okay.
I'm interested to give that a try. It's very beautiful looking.
Neva.
You're walking around with your fox with a tree growing out of its head.
Okay.
Next up is Squirrel with a Gun. I feel like we mentioned this already. It might have came out on PC.
Yeah, I think
previously.
Okay, yeah, it came on PC because I'm about to. Okay,
Yeah,
you have
that's
PS5.
on PS5 and Xbox Series now.
Yeah, that game looks
so everybody
crazy.
can shoot people.
Squirrel holding a real size gun, like to shoot people.
They know what they did. Next up, Animal Well, mentioned that earlier, that being out on Xbox now. Super Mario Party Jamboree is out on the Nintendo Switch.
What was the other one?
Seems like
called
Superstars, I think. Yeah, I've seen mixed things on this. Like, people are really positive on it, like, oh, this is the next best thing in that. And then I've seen other people who are just accepting that Superstars is better.
Just accepting it. I think that's what it is. They say, look, this is going to happen. I might as well like it. This was
never good.
That's like, oh, it's going to keep coming out with new ones. I might as well just like it.
Yeah. We also had Unknown 9 Awakening come out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. This is the one that I was trying to think of the name of a couple of weeks ago, where you're like the sniper lady and then you can possess people and move around. Is this another
Forsaken thing? Or, I mean, I don't know by dialogue, but I know the reviews, I didn't see reviews weren't that great for it.
Yeah, reviews are pretty mediocre. It seems like
what is it?
Double A quality stuff.
Yeah, what is it compared to Forsaken?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Steam
because this is the girl who's the actor
PS2 level
and from The Witcher, right? Is that what it is?
Is that what it is? Let's see. Unknown 9. I have it open here. Bam, bam, bam. Actress. But yes, she's the one that played Yennefer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That sucks because that was kind of interesting in the game.
Yeah. I think the most level-headed review I saw on Steam was like, is this awful? No. Is it great? No. It's just a mediocre game. All right, next up, Fae Farm. Dominic, if you didn't get your fill with Animal Crossing or Disney DreamWorks Valley, you can build a farm in Fae Farm. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. I believe that's the one from Square Enix.
I wonder if this a person who just like farm games. I mean, it's kind of farming simulator, fantasy games, and they just eat this shit up. Like, they just get all of it.
You think there's gotta be like a contingent, because there's a lot of these games releasing.
Yeah.
So if it were me, I would think that people would like get one and then stick to it.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. These games seem like
this is the Spike Chunsoft one.
There's such time-consuming games.
Yeah.
That I'm like, yo, I'll just pick the best one. But maybe there's somebody who's like, I just play a whole bunch of them. I remember what I did. This guy and it's when I got to plant those carrots, and then this one I gotta go talk to this person in town about something. I said, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right, next up, Kong Survivor Instinct for the PC, PS5,
I really
Xbox
had high hopes
Series.
for this one, because somebody, I think I read one thing. Somebody said it's not really Metrovania-like because you don't really go backtrack. He said the only time you backtrack is because you forgot you went the wrong way. He said he went
okay,
or like something like that. I'm like, darn, man. Like, I just felt like just make like a Metrovania game and just have the Kong stuff just happen, around. Like, I mean, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for at least like an 8 in this game.
Yeah.
That sucks.
All right. Next up, we have Yakuza Kiwami is now out on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's good, man. People play it on the go, or maybe they don't have the other systems. They play on the Switch.
Exactly. Also, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. You mentioned that earlier, out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
Oh, wait a minute. Tom, that dude.
What's that?
So that's why that dude said that. He said, yeah, I can't wait to play this PS4, Xbox One game. And I was like, what's he talking about? I didn't ever look it up. I didn't know it was still coming out on the other systems.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I've heard good things about the campaign on this one.
Oh no! I didn't. Yeah, I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that and think. I mean, I can't have an opinion on it because I ain't played much of it. But yes, that's what I've seen. Yeah, I've seen really great things. Like people said they really like the campaign. I was like, wow, well, that's good.
And you said this one is streaming, right?
Yeah,
like that's
streaming. Yeah.
So might jump into that just because there's no way I'm downloading 300 gigs of Call of Duty just to play this campaign or something like that.
Like I'm sorry, those days are done. Like if I gotta download something, like now I'm at the point
I gotta put it in a new hard drive just to play this game.
Like I'm at the point where now like certain games, like especially ones that either I know they can't run on my PC or they're just so big. Like that I guess so I can use cheats, but I still want to play them. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta stream it. It's like if it ain't being for me to stream, I don't want to bother. Like putting, especially those games be huge. Like just taking up too much space.
Yep. All right, and then we have the best game, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Dominic out now on PC, Nintendo Switch,
done a lot.
PS4, PS5, Xbox 10 series.
Like I just because I was watching Donkey's video on it, and there was a lot of content for Shadow, and I didn't think it was he said that he said like I thought it was just gonna be a couple levels with them, and that's what I think. That's what I thought. I didn't think it was gonna be much, but I think he even compared it to like a Bowser's Fury kind of thing. And I was like,
I had heard some other people reference it in a similar fashion. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Sonic Generations wasn't great. I mean, it was okay. It was okay. For me, it was just like the side scrolling parts were the best, and 3D1 stuff was like I could do it. I'll do it. But yeah, I'm like, oh, that's cool that they actually put some work into this and with the Shadow stuff, even though I'm not a big Shadow guy. I'm more of a Metal Sonic man. I don't like
the original antagonist.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like that's the Sonic, and then you got Shadow Sonic, that Robotnik, because they even go to the backstory like Dr. Robotnik. I don't know if that was his father or what, like worked on him or something, and like he has these genes. I was like, oh, come on, man. And I say, come on, y'all just changing everything with that, man. And tell me Child like the coolest dude. And say, no, man, Sonic is supposed to be cool. Like Sonic is supposed to be the cool one. That's who he is. I mean, you can make something evil or something. I don't know. See, it came too late. He came too late. If Shadow would have came maybe when I was younger, I would be into him. But nah. And I kind of wish Keanu Reeves was talking for Knuckles in the new movie. Now that Keanu Reeves is like he's Shadow, I'm like, darn. I kind of want Knuckles to be Keanu Reeves. And Shadow, I don't give a damn who the else.
I want him to be my guy.
Yeah, he could be Idris. Actually, yeah, Shadow could be Idris Elba. Yeah, you can have him. I'm not a big Idris Elba guy. Like I'd rather have Keanu Reeves talk for Knuckles. But now I said, darn, man. Well, at least I guess that makes it Shadow cool for me. Like I said, I can deal with Shadow now. At least Keanu Reeves talking for him because that ain't my guy. Like anybody after Knuckles. After Triple Trouble. After Triple Trouble. Because finally going back to get the what's his name? Silver, whatever. I don't know. That silver thing, whatever. Finally bringing him back. But yeah, I don't care about Amy. I don't care about Biggs the Cat, Crocodile Wild, whatever the hell that is. And
now you're going too far now.
And those little demon-looking ones. I don't know that cat one. The cat one with wings. I don't care about that. That sexy cat one. I don't care how sexy he is. I don't like it.
I don't need to play games with her. There's other content.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Yeah, darn, this is new now. I mean,
yep. We'll wrap this guy up. Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStarworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. It has all of our previous podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Music, Amazon, Spotify, any of those places. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.